That was great timing. So live right now.
We are so live.
So live right now.
Ooh. Vergil, thank you for the follow.
That's so sick every time.
I know. I get so hyped out of that drop.
That drop is just sick. Is there anybody in the chat? Who's in the chat? Say what's up.
Jay Swing.
Jay Swing.
Vernon, thanks for that.
DJ Elusive. Thank you for the beat, man.
Hi, Albert. Hi, Abed.
Three Socks Mafia.
DJ Knowledge, what up?
Oh,
hey, Jay Bray.
Mr. Jay Bray, aka Donnie Disco.
Kenny K, hello.
Calvin.
Oh, there's my moist brother. What's up, Calvin?
I thought you were talking about your dad. I thought you were talking about your dad when you said moist brother. I was like, no.
That's kind of weird, dude.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. Xtina, what up?
Hi, Alvin. Wizzy Wig.
Wizzy Wig. What's up?
Calvin, did somebody say hi to Calvin
DJ
yet?
Ricky, aloha.
Hi, Calvin.
Yeah, we said hi to Calvin.
Hi,
my moist brother.
hi, Vernimal.
Oh, that was your moist brother. You're right.
Vernimal.
Not your dad.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we're going to start in about 30 seconds.
Oh, Virgil's in the chat. I guess he's not, like,
What's up,
joining us
Virgil?
today.
Oh. I think you're going to be late to our TFS.
Oh, hi, Vernimal.
Chuck Righteous, what up, homie?
Hi, Chuck. Hi, Ashley. Hey, girl.
Big 55. Nikki, which messages? Oh.
Tell Calvina I said what up, girl. Keep that wop.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Mike, just really quick.
Whopper, what's up?
I was told there might be more messages in the box. Just in case.
What? No, I sent you the latest right before the show.
Oh, okay.
Everything that was there. So you guys, all your messages, cool.
Cool.
All right, y'all ready to do this? Hey, we got a poll going on right now. Who do you think is the older brother? We'll let that go.
Older brother.
Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.
I am ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk From Home, episode 7.
Seven.
J La 7. Thank you guys for joining. This is a weekly podcast where we bring you guests from the Dance From Home community, get them over here, sit down with them, chop it up, have some drinks, have some laughs, generally just have a good time and let you get to know them better. So we're excited for our guests this evening. But before I bring them on, as always, let me introduce the host. I am one of them. My name is Mike Rocca. I'm a Dance From Home DJ, also one of the X-Fade DJs. And I recently found out that I'm really good at pickup sticks. Don't know, but I'm dope at it. I have my host with me, pickup sticks. You know, you put the sticks in the table and then you just pick them up, and you, without moving other sticks.
Don't you have to drop like a bouncy ball or something?
Don't you have to drop like a jack?
That's
Is
jacks.
it jacks?
That's
That's
jacks.
Jax.
Pickup sticks is the most poor game ever. It's literally just sticks, and then you pick them up and without moving other sticks. That's it.
Oh.
And I'm bad at it.
Let me find some sticks over here.
No, you're in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure you have sticks. So my other host for the evening, partial owner of Remix Entertainment, also an F45 DJ. Sometimes he goes by the name of Charles. Sometimes he goes by the name of Artie. Sometimes he goes by the name of Mr. Shakeweight. He also goes by the name of Huge Jackman. My man, DJ Wildcat. What's up?
Huge Jackman and DJ Wildcat are two separate entities.
Okay, they're two separate
FYI.
entities. That's true.
FYI.
Okay, I'll keep
Especially
that in mind.
officially on Twitch. What's up, DFH fam? How y'all doing? Hey, I'm rocking my DFH fam hoodie. You can get yours on the Dance From Home DJs threadless.com website. The sale goes on until tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to get some DFH fam stuff, some Calvin Cornell stuff, some DJ Urge stuff, now's the time to get it.
Bring that hoodie closer. That looks dope, man. I haven't seen it in person yet.
I like it.
It looks awesome.
Who designed this logo?
I don't know. Was it Albert?
Was it Albert?
I mean, I'm guessing it is.
I'm guessing it's elusive.
I'm guessing it's
Albert
elusive.
did. Dance
Yeah, I'm
from
guessing it's
Home
elusive.
DJs.
He's
Dance
the official graphic designer for Dance from Home, so I'm sure he
There
did.
you
Shout out
go.
to Albert for designing the
DJ
logo.
Elusive Official. What's up, brother?
DFH fam. And also our other co-host for the evening, the face of Cook From Home, a channel on Twitch where she takes recipes, cooks them on her channel, chats with her peeps while she's cooking, generally has a good time. Make sure you follow her. It's Cook From Home, or actually this is Raph, so just follow her on Twitch.
Yeah.
And she's the other half of Hello, My Name is Riff. I'm getting that right for the
You
rest
get
of
it
us.
wrong.
I got it right now. She is currently not in the state of Illinois and in the middle of nowhere with mountains in front of her. So this is our homie Sam. What up?
Hi, I am streaming live from Montana. We just checked in an hour ago, so yes, I am outside, and there's
So
strong internet, so I'm very excited about this.
Strong internet.
Yes, our last hotel it was very slow, so I'm glad
okay.
this worked out.
Strong
Your
would be the
background
right
looks
word.
fake.
Yeah, the
Your
background,
background
does look
looks
fake.
fake.
Oh, yes, I don't want to.
Yes, it's fake.
I'll show you later. I'll show you later.
Show us
Speak
later. Yeah.
I'll show you later.
We'll
Yes,
get
I'm in Montana.
We want a peek. We want a
Hey,
peek of the view.
Chuck Wright just said Montana got that good weed. Not that I
Yes.
would know, but I mean,
I don't-
Maybe he knows.
What is that?
What is this? What is this weed?
What is weed? It's a lot of
Is it-
stuff on the ground.
Is it legal in Montana? I don't know.
I
if
just
it's
got
legal.
here.
Well, that's Chuck Wright later.
That's Chuck.
Hey guys, there's a couple more seconds left on the poll. Who do you guys think is older? Vince, Vergil, or they're twins? Or wait, are they brothers? I don't know.
I don't know.
We
Same last name, maybe cousins. I don't
We
know.
got votes for all of them, so we'll see. We'll see what
And
they
we
say.
do have a guest host for this evening, and we are happy to have him here as a surprise to all of you. Our good friend, he's partial owner of X-Fade Entertainment, also a DJ with X-Fade Entertainment. He is also known as the director, the founder himself of Dance From Home, my man Jeff Mobby. Thank you for joining me. Surprise.
What are the odds?
Oh my
What are
goodness.
the
Surprise.
odds?
Who would have known?
Surprise. What up, DFH fam?
Thanks for joining, Jeff.
What is
As
up?
always. All right. So, without further ado, let's bring on our guest for the evening. First, he is the former co-owner of Sound Crisis Productions, owner of Vergil Magsino Photography. He retired in 2007, but because of Dance From Home, he came back out of retirement to start spinning again for you guys on Twitch. He is the poll done yet?
Yeah.
He is the oldest brother of the two, Vergil Magsino. Our second guest is his brother, the owner and operator of Magsino Mobile, 32 years of experience as a DJ. He's also a really good golfer, which I found out recently. Our friend Vince Magsino, the younger brother of the Magsinos. What's up, guys?
What
up?
up?
Hey.
DFH fam.
What
How are you
up?
guys?
Thanks for joining
Welcome
us
DFH
tonight.
family.
Thanks for joining us, man. How you guys doing? Good?
Good.
Recovering from that upsetting loss yesterday?
Waste of
We don't
time.
have to talk about that.
One game.
It was drive home entertainment for me.
I know.
3-1, I'll take it.
And I was also wrong.
Better than
We were supposed to be going into that -3, Vince, yesterday. So Vince and I were together yesterday playing golf, and we were talking about the Bears game. And I thought we were going in +3, but we went in -3. So my information was incorrect. I apologize. So let's get started. I mean, we've got all night, so I figure we'll start from the beginning with the oldest brother, if you didn't know. So what did the poll say?
The poll
Virgil
said
had 17 votes for Virgil. Vince actually had a couple.
Damn.
A couple of people thought they're twins, and I think one person thought or didn't know that they were brothers.
Magsino's a common last name.
Yeah,
No?
we have a lot of cousins here in,
Yeah,
in Chicago and in California.
I see Vernimals in here, right? That's
Yeah,
makes me too.
that's our youngest brother, Vernon.
What's
How
up,
far
Vernon?
apart are you guys in age?
Without
So
the
me
smoking.
and Vince are
Without
Yeah.
sharing
Age.
your name.
So me and Vince are 4 years apart, and then
Nice.
Vic is after, which Mike met yesterday.
Yeah.
He's 2 years younger than Vince, and then our youngest is Vernon. So by the way, if you haven't figured it out yet, we're all V's.
The V's.
So yeah, Vergil, Vince, Vic, and Vernon, and my parents are also both V's. So it's Virgilio and Violetta.
That is
so-
awesome.
Wow.
That was a weird coincidence when they met that they're all V's. But the funny thing is in our family, so like us, we're a set of V's. We have cousins that are a set of E's. We have a set of R's. There's a set of M's. Set of A's, so it's funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're not
Crazy.
Filipino in the
Yeah.
chat,
Yeah.
that's a Filipino thing. So
Yeah.
Filipinos will name all their kids the same first letter, regardless boy, girl. They'll go through all C, all M, all whatever. So my sister's Magdalene. She's M. So that's how they roll, man. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's so that they can remember better. Like they don't forget a name out of all the kids. I don't know.
I would be confused, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Do they ever do that? They call you Vergil,
Oh, yeah.
Vince, and
Yeah,
Vic,
yeah.
like mixed
well,
up.
that's why they gave us nicknames as usual. You know how the
Yeah.
Filipinos are.
Yeah. Because I
What were
used
your
to get.
nicknames?
Wait, what's your
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what's your
Yeah, what's your nickname?
So mine was Jill, for short for Virgil, and then Vince's was Ted, and I still can't figure that one out.
Ted?
So,
Ted?
What?
Yeah.
There's Ted in the chat. Yeah.
so my government name
I like the government names.
is Vincent Edward Magsino.
Ah.
So just like
Hmm.
Robert Edward Kennedy, Ted Kennedy. So I think my mom and dad probably just gave the nickname, just like Ted Kennedy. They gave me Ted Magsino. So family wise, that's my nickname. But you all know, you're all family. That's my nickname as well. So when my wife we first met, she's like, she thought Ted and Vince were two people. So these are the five brothers. So then she figured it out like it's the same person. So that's
Wow.
where that came from. Yep.
Well, that's awesome. So it's just the three of you guys, the three brothers, and you're all V.
Oh, it's the four of us.
Four of us.
Or four. There's four. Oh,
Yeah.
Vergil,
Vernon.
Vince,
Vernon's the
there's
youngest.
Vernon's there.
Vic,
Okay.
yeah.
And Vic.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, Vic is about close to my age, and we were talking yesterday. So I know your guys' family friend, Chris Obillo. That's my best friend. I was best man at his wedding.
Which I didn't realize
which-
that was Mike Rocca at the time.
Yeah, you do.
So, Mike, if you ever talk to his mom, so his mom actually took care of me when we first moved here to the U.S. So I was born in the
Okay.
Philippines.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So like we were saying, Chris was saying, I've had to have run into you guys because I've gone to family parties with Chris. Like when we were little kids, probably like we went to kindergarten together. So we've known each other since 6 years old. Right. I would hang out with him and we go to family parties and hang out at his family party things. And he's like, yeah, they've all been there. So you've seen Vic, Vince, Vergil, Vernon, all of them. So we've known each other longer than we knew we did.
It's crazy.
Yeah, small
More
world,
connections.
right? Small world. So Vergil, you're the oldest. How long have you been DJing?
So I started in 86. So you do the math. I was a junior in high
32.
school. 34. Well, yeah.
I was just
I'm doing the math
adding
now.
to my age.
Wow.
This is math.
So yeah, so
Adding to-
1986
this
is
is
when
math.
I
This is
when I
math.
This is
started.
math.
Yeah, it was junior year of high school. I was at Loyola University or Loyola Academy, and a bunch of my friends got together and were like, "Hey, we saw some people." And it was around the B96, mix master era as well as the Hot Mix 5. So after listening to those guys, we wanted to give it a try. So we're like, "Hey, let's go ahead and try this." And for me, it actually came pretty easy because our family's pretty musically inclined. I have to give it up to my parents. They pretty much had music going on 24/7 in our house. I remember growing up as a kid, my dad every Sunday would religiously play music throughout the day. And so we grew up listening to Paul Anka. So a lot of all the classic stuff. And this was on reel to reel. If you guys can, Mike knows this.
Yeah, we're right there,
So-
right there. My reels.
Yeah.
reels,
So
yeah.
we had reel to reels, we had records, we had everything. We had the nice
8
hi-fi
tracks.
system, 8 tracks. Yeah.
Yep.
So we, I have to attest to my dad for, really instilling music in us. So we fell in love with music pretty early. And then my mom played piano. So she started me at piano at 5 years old. So I've been playing piano since I was 5. And so that really helped me so much that I actually got a degree in music. So there's a shocker for you guys.
Wow.
Oh wow,
So I have a bachelor's in music from DePaul University.
that is awesome.
And that really helped me, get into DJing. So I started really playing in bands and then eventually started DJing around junior year.
Dope. What kind of music were you DJing off the bat, like right away?
Off the bat, house music.
House music.
First record I ever bought was Jack Your Body, Steve Silk Hurley at Record City. If any of you guys remember Record City back in the day, there was one in Northbrook, which is where we eventually grew up. And then there was one in Skokie. So that was the first record I bought. And then the second record I had was Chip E, If You Only Knew. And those were the first 2 records I ever blended together.
That's awesome. And what were you working on, equipment wise, when you first blended?
Oh, God. So my dad had a Sherwood.
I hope there's pictures. Are there pictures? Because I want to see.
I sent already a picture of what it was. So my dad had one linear tracking turntable. It was a Sherwood.
Yeah.
And then we had one of those like all-in-ones that had the turntable on top with the dual cassette, with the kind of the mini tabletop boom boxes.
Yeah, it had the 2, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you could record from one to another if you want.
Yeah. So I had that turntable, the linear tracking turntable, and I think everybody almost started on this realistic mixer.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that we bought. And then Artie, I don't know if you have the other picture. We did a house party, and you can see the picture from the back. We don't have it from the front, but I mean, it was so.
The first setup.
Yeah, the first setup. It was pretty ghetto.
Wait.
I love the office lamp. The office lamp just does it, bro.
No, that's actually Alex Angeles, and then on the right is Andy Rivera.
Is Andy Rivera?
Wow.
Yeah. So that goes into a little bit later because that's some of the crew that we hung out with too, Andy and the crew from Audio Network. So we can get into that a little bit later. But there were a lot of DJ crews back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, look at that wood paneling. That's so Midwest. That's a straight up Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
Basement right there.
And like 90s basement right there.
Yeah.
But you can see on the right, the silver thing is that linear tracking turntable. And then on the left is that all-in-one thing.
And then there's the office. There's the office lamp.
The office lamp.
The office lamp. I love the office lamp. That's
the one right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Did you ever like switch it on and off really quick and make it a strobe light? Like this was your party light?
No, it was a fluorescent, so it was a pain in the ass to turn on.
Yeah, where you have to hold it.
The fluorescent.
Yeah,
I had to warm up.
Yeah, you have to hold it down to turn that sucker on. So, but yeah, that was our first setup. So yeah, I started in '86 doing house parties basically for all our friends in their basements.
I can just see your dad like, Vergil, where's my lamp from my office? Put lamp back.
Where's my turntable?
I can't see anything. That's awesome.
Yo, give me back my lamp.
Yeah, get my lamp back. What is that doing this DJ thing, this scratchy wiki. Yeah, dope, man. So that's the beginning days. Like, so you're playing house music right now, like 80s house music.
Yep.
And you've got a crew. Do you have a crew? Was your crew? Did they have a name?
So I didn't at the time. We didn't start our crew really until '88 when Vince started DJing. And that's when we came up with Sonic Crisis Productions. So at the time we were just doing little parties, family gatherings, and then we started doing associations, and that actually helped from my parents. My dad was in a lot of the associations, so he started lobbying to get us to DJ a lot of their dances for them. So he got us into that, and you can imagine we didn't use that equipment.
Right.
So this was back in the time. So around '88 when we really started DJing for parties, we would rent equipment from Windy City Music. I don't know if you guys remember that place. That was in Lincolnwood.
Oh yeah, I do.
Tui?
Yeah.
They had a huge rental company there, and then they eventually moved to Glenview. So we rented all of our equipment from them. So anything, and I owe it to my parents because as much as they supported us, they said, if you want to do this, you're on your own.
Yeah.
They gave us a little bit. I mean, they started us early. Like, if you want to work, you got to work for everything. So I have to give it to my parents for really instilling that in us. So everything that we've done has pretty much been on our own. Me and my brother built everything from the ground up. So, take a little cut there after we pay the rental. And then that's what we used to buy records. So
That's awesome.
that's how it all started, really, in '88 when we started Sound Crisis Productions.
Yeah. So for those 2 years before Vince started spinning, you were doing mostly house parties, and
I was doing mostly house parties and then borrowing friends' equipment and never returning it sometimes. But
like someone's in the chat right now. Hey man, that's my mixer in the back, bro. I wanted that since '89.
We have
hilarious.
people's records.
yeah.
It's funny how.
Yeah, you got everybody's records.
So this is one of our early setups.
Sound Crisis.
So I made that case. I made the amp rack because at the time couldn't afford it. So we're like, I can make this. So I was pretty handy like Eris and built everything. And you guys can all see the freaking SP2 speakers on the right, which were heavier than hell. And this is actually the stage of
Rizal.
That's
Yep.
Rizal?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is at
See
the
your
stage of
crates?
Rizal. You see all the crates. You can see a crate of 45s on the left, and then those big ass beacons.
Yep, those are the Mars lights.
lights.
Yep,
Oh,
they're made by
I was gonna
Trip
say.
Light,
that.
which is still a company that's actually existing today.
Yeah.
I think they make power strips now.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So that's me on the left, and that's Vince on the right, with the new wave hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're
Crazy
straight new
new
wave in this. This is like straight up 80s. It took a whole like can of hairspray to probably make that happen, right?
Oh yeah.
Yo Jimbo was asking what kind of mixer did you guys use?
So the first legit mixer we got when we so little story about the turntables. So those turntables that we eventually bought once we made enough money, I bought used from one of my best friends in high school. His dad owned a restaurant. It was a Greek restaurant, and they didn't need the turntables anymore, so I bought them. This was in '88, towards the end of '88, and these turntables that are here are the same ones that are there. So these are the ones that I bought in '88, and at the time, these were already 7 years old. So these turntables are pretty damn old and still working.
I work like a champ. Yep.
Yeah.
Like they're still working right now.
Yeah, still working. I still use them. These are these are the
They're
turntables I'm using right
Those-
now.
Wow.
Those are the ones.
The ones that I have right in front of me are the
The
first
ones in the
turntables.
picture?
Yeah, are the ones that are in the picture. Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
I took the serial number and traced it, and I think it's 77.
77. Yeah, it's like one of the first runs of turntables.
Oh, that's like the
a good
one of the
ROI.
first 77 or
Yeah,
like
these
the
are
first
the
100 batch.
1200 Mark IIs. Yeah,
Yeah,
these are
first
the
batch.
original, the first batch of 1200s. Yeah, just like Eris had, except
what I
I
was
bought
gonna
mine
ask.
used. I bought mine used. I think Eris bought his new.
Yeah.
And then the first mixer we had was a Newmark.
17.
Was it the 1750? I think right. I think everybody used that the PPD mixer. It was a 4-channel.
Is that the one that was similar to the Sound Craftsman?
Yeah, similar to the
Yeah.
Sound Craftsman. Yeah,
That's prior to.
yeah.
Yeah, prior to the Sound Craftsman. Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody asked how old you guys are in this picture.
I was, I believe, at the time 19, and Vince was 15.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So
Did you have
cool.
to ever repair since you're using the same?
Oh yeah, I've overhauled
Okay.
these things a bunch of times.
Got it. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
it was like
yeah. And the nice part is you can
Cool.
still get parts for this thing. So that's the best thing on this.
Yeah, Little Bears is asking what your DJ names were in Sound Crisis. Were there ever DJ names? always
When
just
we went to college, we did.
Actually,
you'll see
yeah.
him on the flyers. I was.
Yeah, you'll see them on the flyers.
Okay, dope. So this is 2 years. It takes Vince 2 years to catch up, and he's like, "You're so cool. Like you're making all this awesome music. Can I do that too, big brother?" And is that what happened?
That's
No.
kind of how it happened. I mean, I
Yeah.
just hung around. So Andy Rivera was my age, and he was hanging out with them, and because of his brother Mike was the same age as Vergil, So he was hanging out. So I don't know. I just stumbled about hanging out with him, and then that's pretty much how it started. So just like how Virgil mentioned, when music inclined, that's how I learned basically, just matching, counting, just 8 counts, count your 8 counts. And I just learned by tapping my foot and just tapping and just learning that way, the old school way. So, and then one thing also too, I learned is what evolved was, and this goes to DJ Flip Styles, who's one of our mentors before, house DJ out in Phoenix, Arizona now. BPMs. So he was the one that was teaching us, like he would label every record sleeve with the BPM. So like 128 beats per minute. So you'd find 2 records that would match, so you know what to play. Obviously, as I learned from my experience, I didn't really pay attention to that. And I would just try to blend things together and just kind of learn as you go. So that pretty much how it was. So basically, well, these are Serato vinyls, but this is basically what we started at. So we have tons and tons of records in my parents' house, like that. So that's pretty much how it is. And same thing like Virgil, I just listened to, BMX, B96, just to listen to the mixes and that tape. You had cassette tapes you guys talked about before. You put the Scotch tape over it to re-record, if you wanted to erase a mix. In that case there. And then also, too, when we started DJing with a cassette recorder, you used to take a pencil. You had to bring it with you to turn and rewind it to cue it. So, so that was kind of the old way. Yeah.
If there's anybody that's too young in here to understand the way tapes worked, so there was a cassette tape, and the top of the tape had these 2 little like notches in it, and if the notches were broken out, you couldn't record over it. It would like stop it, because physically these things had to go in to tell the tape recorder to record. So in order to record over tape, you had to put literal Scotch tape over those 2 holes, and then put the tape in, and then you could record over it. So that's what he's talking about, putting Scotch tape over the tape to record. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you guys remember VHS, you had to do the same thing.
That or Betamax.
Or Betamax.
Betamax, yeah.
Yeah, so it was
tape in
1998. Sorry, 1988. That's when I started. I just basically...
yes, we are, Julie.
Julie, just started doing that and just hung out with my brother in the case. And I would go hang out and would go record shopping. My first record I think I bought on my own with him was Electric Dance at Gramophone, Jungle George Suarez.
Nice.
It was the very first record I bought. So it was just fun. I mean, just kind of like how Jeff Fernandez was talking about a couple weeks ago. It's just, I would just, after school, like the equipment's downstairs, I would just sit there and play and just, just kind of screw around, just learn. And then as you kept on like building your library. So, I mean, the tracks, like the records we had in vinyl back then, were stuff like, Freestyle, all the Chicago House. We also, not even go Gramophone, which was a very popular store back then, so now still there. We went to like Gramophone, Imports, was big back then on tours then. This is even way before Super Dance and all that kind of stuff. Those are 2 original ones you could go to. Then we're in the suburbs, so we'd go to like Virgil mentioned, like Record City, Sound Warehouse. If you guys remember that name, Sound Warehouse on Gulf Road in Niles, you always go there.
I remember that.
Joe Delphine actually used to work there before, so in that case there. So that's kind of how we kind of ascertain the records, and then hanging around. So it kind of just evolved where you just kept on buying music, and then every time you hear a mix on the radio, you want to know what that song was, so you can go to the record store and buy it.
Yeah.
So like I was actually that kid that I did this before. I'd go up to the guy like, "Hey, do you know that song?" And I would sing it, and the guy would be looking at me like, "Huh? What are you talking about?"
Get out of here, kid.
Exactly. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of the store. Buy something and go away.
Unless you were at Gramophone, then Andy Moy would know.
Gramophone,
Andy Moy would know the song.
Andy Moy. Shouts out to Andy Moy. If you guys all know him, was the owner of Gramophone. I mean, you sing a song, he'd know it. I mean, you tell him like, hey, you sing dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh, hey, Electric Dance right over here, right on the wall. Here you go.
That's dope.
And
like
that was
talent.
Human Shazam or something.
Yeah,
back then, that was what it was. They didn't have no Shazam. It's just it's name that tune. That's pretty much what it was.
There was a commercial like that where the person was like, I think it was movies though. They're like, it's the one where the person runs through the door and they get their head chopped off by the axe while they're running through and it's red. And so the dude's like, oh yeah, we got that movie. And then he goes and grabs it. Is that how your boy was?
Yeah.
You know the song where the girl sings in it? I got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funny story, really quick, about gramophone is so it was like on Clark Street in Wrightwood, right there in Lincoln Park, if you guys know the area, the original one. So there's McDonald's down the street. So obviously, what we used to do, because that's when, if Vergil used to go to DePaul, so after school at Lincoln Park, he'd actually just walk the gramophone, buy records. So when he'd come home, he'd buy like a bag of shitwad of records there. So, but if we actually drove down there, we actually used to park at McDonald's, eat, and then walk over, because it was hard to find parking at Clark Street. Even back then, it was hard parking.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's still hard to find parking,
either
yeah.
you took the train, you walked there, or you drove. You had to park somewhere. So we did like everyone else did. You always go to McDonald's before you went to gramophone.
Yeah, otherwise you'd get towed.
Yeah, it would throw your ass.
Yeah, it'd tow your ass.
There literally was just kind of like the Dunkin' Donuts on Belmont and Clark. There's literally a guy that would sit there in the parking lot and watch the people to see where they go. Do they go in and actually buy food? Do they go in there and go to the bathroom or something or whatever? Or they go and just park and then walk away?
Right.
So, I mean, it's happened before to friends that actually went to go shop and go, hey, man, my car got towed. Well, yeah, because you didn't go and get something.
Well, go buy a Happy Meal, dude. Like,
Exactly. They were way cheaper back then.
that's hilarious. So, all right. So when Vince starts, Vergil, are you like annoyed big brother or cool big brother? Are you like, get out of here, man?
No,
Like, this is
actually, I
for
mean,
us? Or-
at the time, we were cool because we were both playing music, and I was in college at the time. I had started college at DePaul, so I lived at home, so he was there. So we would throw records together, and then that's when, as I said, we started the company, and we started doing mostly family parties and then association events. So we would do a lot of and then we started getting asked to do weddings. So we did that, and I have to give a lot of props to Eris. He was actually one of the first DJs we saw do weddings in Chicago. So we emulated him a lot. Yeah, Eris. We emulated Eris. So that's how we got our start, really. And
I heard he was all right.
So he was doing a lot of the weddings, and he was also doing a lot of the cotillions. And we started being in the cotillions because my parents were in the PMAC, they were in all these medical associations. So me and my brother were actually in cotillions. We were escorts at some of the cotillions. So then we're like, oh, this is cool, because then we could play our music afterwards for the dance. So that's why we learned a lot of the classic cuts, the waltzes, all that stuff from the cotillions, cha-cha, all the ballroom dancing, and then eventually we would DJ the house music afterwards. So that's how we got our start with like events and then eventually weddings.
Yeah, so Small World Connection, and so Abed's parents actually, Jeff, your father-in-law went to the same school as my dad did, Far Eastern University.
Oh, wow.
So alumni. So I don't know if you knew that before. So
I think I vaguely knew something, but I mean, I know we were connected originally because through my sister-in-law, Lorraine, Lobo and JoJo.
Yeah, Lobo and JoJo. So Lorraine, I've known from back in high school. So we used to call it her the Oakbrook crew, because the largest Alvos used to live in Oakbrook, or near there. So that's kind of how you met those.
Yeah, they're still in Lombard. So
yeah,
It's like, no wonder they don't hire me anymore.
With a beautiful garden.
That's actually a good testament, because yes, I mean, back then in the day, and Eris knows this, it was pretty much cutthroat. It was, that's we tried to get all the gigs that we could, because that's how actually I supported myself through college. Was I made a deal with my parents. If I wanted to get an apartment at DePaul, then I had to pay for it. So I supported myself by DJing, and that's really how we started the business. So
did you only DJ mobile gigs? Did you do like the club scene too?
It wasn't until really 92, 92, when we had our first one at Eric's North. I don't know if you guys remember that. Eric's North was Lincoln Village.
Yeah, right by Lincoln Village.
Right by Lincoln Village, off of Kimball and Devon. And Lincoln. Yeah. That eventually became Silk, right? I think.
Yeah.
Silk or
Now I
Saga.
know what you're
Vergil.
talking
Saga or Saga.
Yeah, Saga. Ryan used to
Saga.
work there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where
remember
we got our
Saga.
first kind of residency. We were doing Thursday nights there. That's where we got our first taste for. I wouldn't say it's a club, but it was a bar.
Yeah,
really,
It's a bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a real,
The non-mobile scene.
non-mobile, exactly.
yeah. But we did a lot of the mobiles because what ended up happening is we were doing weddings, and then we started really getting into the college circuit because I was at DePaul at the time. So I started eventually getting the DePaul Ace Club party. So pretty much, as you guys know, a lot of the universities had their own Asian clubs. So we would start doing the DePaul parties, and then eventually we got hired to do Loyola parties, UIC, Northern Illinois. So we started getting around the circuit, and then they'd have the conglomeration, which was known as USAFA or COPA. There was two different organizations that took basically all the different clubs together. So we started DJing all of their events, like the Valentine's parties and all that for them.
Yeah. Artie, I don't know if you could show one of the flyers. Probably.
Yeah, which one do you want me to show?
Probably either the
I think the DePaul, USAFA or DePaul. And so actually when we started, there was a Dave's on. I don't know if Dave's on here, but Dave DeMano was on a couple of these flyers.
That's how.
There's Dave.
There's Dave. And there's Joe. And that's
Jim and JD, and then there's Roger
Dave
Madrano.
DeMano.
If you guys remember 2 weeks ago when Jeff
Total
Fernandez,
Encore. Yep.
yeah, that's Roger is Joe's brother.
Yeah.
Joe's younger brother.
Okay.
So yeah, so I actually went to
Jamming
DePaul.
down DJ. Is that jamming down?
Yeah.
DJ or
Jamming
jamming down
Down.
JD?
Yeah.
I think the flyer was messed up, but I don't know if you guys remember. This was the Pronto Printing. They made like all the flyers for all the parties back in the day.
How about is this Manny Mixon Arzana? Is this related to Tony?
No relation.
No relation.
Oh, okay.
The different arsenal. Yeah.
So Lil
you're a
Bears,
vicious bird?
you asked about our nicknames, or that's our DJ names back
and you're a Ted the Terrible.
Ted's the Terrible.
I did not make that one up. That was
That's a
that was
fun name.
Mono Arzana made that up, and I just like that one.
Wow.
Whatever you guys want to call me, that's fine.
Oh, Dave's on
Yeah,
here.
so,
That's a dope
so
flyer.
yeah, that's one of them. If you could move, I wanted to show one. So we did DePaul. There's one Loyola. If you show the one with Warren Rig, I want to show that one.
Yep.
So this one was 1993. This is actually one of Warren Riggs. Actually, I think one of his first or whatever one of his performances. So Warren knew
Pearl.
Ernest
and Pearl, yeah.
Yeah, Ernest and Pearl. So Pearl I knew from Loyola because I actually went to Loyola University. So I think this was my freshman year or my sophomore year of college. So they brought in Warren Rig. So we DJ'd there, and Joe was there. In the case, and Dave was there as well. So it was really funny. I wish we had footage, but he actually like dressed up in a cape with all black and sang, 3 songs. Really, the 3 songs that he actually was popular for. He did "Didn't You Lie, Love You Right" was the first one. I'll play that tomorrow. But second one was "Reality," and then the third one was "Who Are You Gonna Run To." But back then, it wasn't the one you hear now. It was actually the original remix that actually was done by Brian Clark. So Brian Clark was back then, he was part of Chicago Productions, which was Wonderboy Wu Kang, Brian Clark, and Jan Fritz. So Brian knew Warren. He actually produced the first track of "Who Are You Gonna Run To," which I actually play on Sad New Wave Club. But I actually like that version better. Total Encore disagrees. He likes the remix on Strictly Hype, but we always argue. So I always played. I played the original version, and I always liked that. But I played it for the fans. I played the Strictly Hype version, but yeah, in that case there. So that's another one too. So back then, there was no social media. I mean, I think I forgot who talked about it the other week, but you literally had friends that would just basically go to campus, walk around, pass flyers, pass it out to blast it, whatever it is, post it if the university allowed it to. In that case, there just basically pass out the flyers, party. So
that was Calvin.
Yeah, Calvin was talking about that. Yep.
Yeah,
so that's how it was, and those used to be parties. So all the Asians Club, they throw a party usually about once a quarter. And then, as Virgil said, there was a conglomeration. So they used to do like a this is before Masu. So you guys probably know about Masu. So the original one, Yusuf, Kopa. And then from there, later on, those ones came out with Matsu, and then there's other ones. So it always just shows our age, but that's kind of like our generation was kind of like the ones that started all that, and then the next generations followed. And obviously, it usually started out. You had your conference, you had your big giant party and all that, and then through the years, it kind of changed the way they did things before. So I don't know how it is now, and I don't keep track. If there are still Asian clubs, I don't think they do these kind of things where they throw parties at the school anymore. But this is a social thing,
No, it's still pretty common. I mean,
okay.
Abed and I went to U of I, and we did facts. So exactly as you guys were doing.
Yeah.
Like we would have the conference, and then afterwards we'd throw a huge after party, and I mean, it still goes on today. So
does facts still go on today though?
Facts still going on.
Oh yeah, and then the cool thing was about this too, and then I don't know if we have that flyer, but we actually threw a post Rice Bowl party. So
Rice Bowl.
I don't know if you remember about those of you Rice Bowl. So going back to what Virgil said, the USFA was the one. So it was Loyola, DePaul, UIC. I forgot the other schools. So Rice Bowl, if you guys don't know, was basically the day after Thanksgiving. Lobo JoJo, she knows about it because she played. So they actually each school had a guys team and a girls team. So they basically compete. And then obviously contest, who gets the Rice Bowl trophy. And then, one year we threw a party at like the post Rice Bowl party. So that was what it was. Rice Bowl was kind of like a bragging rights for all the local schools in the area based upon
it was COD was part of that too.
COD. Yep.
Yeah, a bunch of local colleges in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah. So that was a fun thing there. So in the case, but so doing that, and then at that time, we were doing that. So then they kind of had the what do you call it? They started the nightclub kind of thing. But being in mind, we were still doing mobile DJing at that time. So at the time, the early '90s, as we started building more kind of the weddings and the kind of the private parties, it just you do one, you do a good job, and then you get a referral, and that kind of case, it kept moving along. And then as the years evolved, as you like in college, of course, when we both graduated college, your friends, you're getting married, so you do their weddings, and then they do ours. So that's pretty much how the business started, pretty much like that. Rice Bowls.
Chinese restaurant.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, so
it was of College of Dreams. We all remember that acronym.
So something you won't see anymore, obviously, because we don't do physical flyers, is the bring the flyer with you. Can you put the flyer back up? If you bring the flyer with you, you get it for $5.
Yeah,
you get it for $1 cheaper than.
Yeah, I mean, and
that was the thing. I mean,
the
legit.
funny thing is about people would actually do it. There were people who
bring the flyer,
and then what they do is back then, like actually keep track. This is how they kept track of not only when you pay, but also to see did they get their ROI on their advertising. So they would actually track the flyer. Put the back, and if you brought it back, they goes, hey, this person got it and they returned it back. So yes, that was true.
So and it's funny if you guys noticed the change of size. So it originally started with the bigger ones that you saw. Those were half sheets. So it was cheaper because it was paper, and you could just throw them on the cars and pass them out. And then you started getting into these cards. So these were like card stock. Yeah. And we started getting into double-sided and got more expensive. But we just evolved at the time when we were getting these things out. So.
Yeah, so and they were pretty. I don't forgot the prices, but Pronto and whoever actually this one was made in house. This was made at the school. They used I think they went to Kinko's or something and just cut. You can tell by the way it's cut out. So, but I mean that's how they did it. If they didn't professionally, they would make their own, and that was just their advertising. So it literally was word of mouth. If it wasn't for a flyer, you'd say, hey man, there's a party on the 29th, the Rambler Room, or hey, there's a concert in the case, or
how many people usually showed up to these parties?
I don't know if you ever been to Loyola. The Rambler Room was like their cafeteria. So basically, they would clear out the cafeteria, and it was cool thing about Loyola was pretty cool. We were able to actually use their AV department. So we actually not only brought our own equipment, but we actually surplus, so we had a pretty good sound system. So
That's awesome.
you probably could have at least, I would say probably maybe 200-300 people in that room, depending on fire code. I forgot what it was, but they would pack it. They would, at that time, I mean, you're in college, you couldn't go to the club yet because you weren't 21. So in that case, where would you go? You go to the college party. So that was the thing. People would go to the party. So it was Loyola, UIC, DePaul, and then of course like Champaign. I actually went down a couple of times and DJ back then. Wait, this is before your age, Jeff. But they started all that. But we'd go down there in the Northern. We used to DJ Northern a lot, like JP Hennigan's. They used to, I don't know if you guys ever went to Northern JP Hennigan's. They also had it like
Amnesia and
Amnesia. We call it Amnesia's. Jeff Fernandez, he knows that. So yeah, Northern. We went to Champaign. I mean, we went to different places. In the case and wherever people would go to the parties. They would drive down. They would drive down Champaign. They would make it a whole weekend. In that case, I mean, I remember one time I think it was
Cochran. Encore,
yeah. Very first time that J.R. Martinez, DJ Speed, came. He moved from Florida. I met him from a mutual friend who I seen. I brought him down there to the very first DJ battle in Champaign back in the day by PSA. PSA hosted it. So so it was like JR, DJ Speed. I forgot a couple other guys, and JR will tell me that story. He actually drove home that night. He was so crazy. I don't know why. Jimbo, you'll laugh at that. So ask him that story. He'll probably remember. But they drove home that night. But I mean, it was fun. I mean, like that was so cool how they had the connection. Doesn't matter what school you went, people would go and party. And then the same thing, just like the mixes, your mixes. So like I would make a mixtape and a cassette. And, I'd give it to someone like at Loyola, and then someone at Loyola would, copy it and they would give it to their sister or their whatever down Champaign. So your mixes would circulate around, back then before you could, online. So that was the physical cassette. And as Abed will know, Jeff, like she would listen to Lorraine's tapes, those are the mixes that I made and she got. And those tapes are circulated. So, you give it to one. So let's say they started in Skokie or Chicago, they evolve, they go Oak Brook, they go all over the place. So props, if you can find one of my mixes on cassettes, I will actually buy it from you because it's just something I want for memorabilia.
That'd be dope.
Hey Vince, Jimbo was asking where did Speed drive to?
He drove down to Champaign for a DJ battle.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Jimbo and DJ Speed are related.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was probably like so Jimbo, this is probably like early 90s, right when he came here. I met him. I think I met JR from Greg Deck and I, who was at UIC. So I think that's where I met JR from.
If you want to know how long ago this was, I don't know if I can scroll
what
or
year
zoom
is
in. It's 93, but this is so long ago that if you to call to RSVP, you can see that it says it doesn't have the area code.
Oh, because it was all 773.
It was all.
Yeah, it was all
312.
So this was asked for Renier. So Renier Hidalgo was the president of Capo at that time. I don't know if you know his younger sister Tracy. They're from Bolingbrook, the Hidalgos. So Renier is the president at that time. But yeah, it was one area code. You had to call a reserve, in that case. And then he used glue because it's just easy to remember. So that was just back then, and then you had to pay for flight. And look at that, $4 before 8 p.m. I mean, there literally were people coming like before 8 p.m. I mean, nowadays it's like, what? I'm not even getting rent. Maybe in California because the club started earlier there. But here it's like, I mean, you come in there, people would come early because they knew the thing started and it ended short, like
we pregame at 10.
Your Jimbo's related to Greg.
Yeah, Greg. Yeah, that's right. Greg was cousins. Greg and I was cousins. That's how it all started there, Jimbo.
That's
and
awesome.
I've got Jimbo, I'll tell you next time I talk to you. I got a side story about Greg, so we'll leave that for another time.
Notice you guys dropped the DJ names.
Yeah.
It was short-lived.
Yeah.
I mean, I throughout my career, I never had a DJ name because I just never found one I liked, and I just stuck with my name. I mean, I think it was just people knew me for who I was, and I kind of just left it as it was. So, in this case,
it doesn't get more original than that.
I mean, look at Dave. Dave was still Dave DeMano back then before he became D-Double.
Before he was D-Double. Hey,
Yeah.
so really quick, I just want to pause. I just want to show. I just want to show this is
I'm
Rap
trying
here.
to read the flyer.
This is
Gotta get her magnifying glass.
This is-
out.
Boom.
she's not
Like
on
my
green screen, guys.
This isn't green screen.
This is not green screen. This is
is not.
legit Montana legit Montana background behind her.
That's
crazy.
so crazy. It looks so
Yeah.
fake.
It looks so
It
fake.
does look fake. I could like run out there and run back.
Go run out there. Show them.
Send Derek.
Prove
Send
it.
Derek.
We don't
Tell Derek-
believe you.
Tell Derek to run back there.
Send Derek. Oh, there she
my God.
goes.
Oh,
she
dang.
went. She
She
went.
left.
He went.
I'm just waiting for like a buffalo to like.
Oh
A buffalo. A whole herd.
no. That would be crazy.
Oh, thank you, Raph. That was dope.
Wow.
That was
Oh,
awesome.
Hey, Lorraine, if you find a cassette and put a CD, I'll take it from you. I appreciate if you find that, Lorraine.
Oh, that was
Well,
awesome.
JoJo, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, so they were saying they think they converted one of the tapes to CD. So
Yes.
check it out.
That'd be
Ooh,
How
nice.
many cassettes did you originally make?
Gosh.
I don't even remember, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I remember. After the cassettes, like we moved to reel to reel. So I still actually have the original reel to reel. I actually should have sent in a picture, but I actually have some of my old mixes on reel to reel still. So I'm actually trying to relive it if I can get it to work, and then actually try to record it again. But so not only did we did club things, so we actually did some radio mixes back in the day. So through connection with Joe Delphin, WLUW Energy 88.7 was a station,
Yep.
very local, broadband strength. I think it was pretty much like Chicago, like north side Chicago, downtown. It stretched a little, like kind of north to almost about like Northbrook, Glenview, that north, and then west suburbs, kind of like O'Hare, but kind of the west suburbs anyway. But if you were in that signal strength, 88.7, pretty much they played like all the high energy, they played house and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the old DJs that actually were there started, like DJ Marksky actually started from 88.7 before he did it to 96. They're like a power pack. So like
Power
DJ
Pack DJs, yeah, they were called the Power
King, L9.
Brian Clark.
Brian Clark was part of that. These are all these old DJs back then. So they would make this. That was how it was back then. Is you had to physically make a mix on either cassette, and then actually bring it to the station, give it to them, and then they would play it. And then they would put their drops over that. So like in that case, when I started doing it for radio, we would record it reel to reel. Then we actually had to transfer it to then it was DAT, so digital audio tape. And then you'd either give your digital audio tape or you record the cassette.
So for all those that use Ableton to splice stuff, we were doing it physically with the tape.
Yeah.
We would
So
literally cut the tape up.
Let me grab mine.
Yeah, so I think Eris talked about it when he did it. So you physically actually had, so that's what it was. So there's a block on there. I don't know if you have an editing block there, Mike. But you take the tape and put it on a block, and you actually have to cut and splice it with tape.
And you mark the in and out points with a grease cutter, and
you
then
had a grease pen and mark a white line. You could use a razor blade and cut it. And it was pretty cool, the editing block. And
Cool.
I wish I had a picture. There's actually different angles, so you could actually have a straight cut, or you could kind of have it cut in half. So when you listen to the edits, and this is even like Bobby D. This is how he did it way back in the day when he first started. This is how it was. I mean, you literally sit there and physically had to spend time. Even Bad Boy Bill did this. This is how they all Julian. They all did it this way. You had to cut it and tape it, and then put it all together, and then
put
just
it
like
back
how
in and try and listen to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
You'd rub it against the head and try and listen to the cut. Yeah, it was crazy.
You know, DJ WYSIWYG, he has a YouTube channel. And Vince, we were listening to your old mixes, Derek and I, on our road trip through Idaho. I was like, we love all these songs. Trying to Google it. It was awesome.
WYSIWYG is I love that guy. He's one of my family friends. He grew up in Northbrook. He actually used to have some of my mixes, so he actually uploaded on YouTube. And he actually told me, "Hey, I found your mixes. I'm going to put it on YouTube." I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." And, and I would put it out. And I posted on Facebook one time and go, "Hey, I found this mix." I shared it. I mean, it wasn't a really good copy. In that kind of case, Mickey Mix and Oliver. That's right. Was the king of spice. But yeah, so I posted. So I always, like I said, you guys find my old stuff. And I probably don't even remember.
WYSIWYG has it on his YouTube
he
channel,
does.
guys. So,
But I mean, that just shows, and and the thing, like kind of like the music outside of house music, that kind of different genre, like the high energy and the new wave kind of stuff. Back then, a lot of people didn't do that. They kind of shunned away from it. So when we were growing up, everyone was just, okay, it's got to be straight up B96. You got to play all the house music that's on there.
Yeah.
So the only one that kind of would steer away at that time was Tim Spin and Shomer, because he did freestyle. So he was been, if you hear his stories, he wanted to separate himself from everyone else. So he actually started doing freestyle. So I think that's kind of how I started, and I think my influence my brother is how we kind of differentiated back then was not only could you play house, you play different, like the high energy, the
Yeah, and the guy that really steered us that way was Brian Clark back in the college days. He pretty much went that way with the new wave, and then so everyone knows, we went to Gramophone for the house stuff. We would typically go to Import Records. This was downtown back at the time, so everything was coming in from Europe. So all the local records at Gramophone would be like $4. These imports would be $10 a piece. So
$9.99. Some were like
$9.99. Yeah, some were like $13. Yeah. So, I mean, we hardly ever got doubles of those. Not like the house records where we just buy 2 at a time for $8, right?
Yeah.
So we still have a lot of the new wave records that we bought back in the day. And the funny thing is, a lot of them were at 45, not 33 in the third.
Yeah. So like stuff like domesticated, like anything box was, forgot Epic label was then, but like Erasure
YYZ or the YZ.
YZ,
from Germany.
So like Have in Mind, Say to Javu, that was an import. That was on a YYZ label.
XYZ, I think it was.
XYZ, and that was $9.99 that case there. So a lot of these songs, like new wave stuff I play, they're all imports. So and I told this to Eldon, I think he told me they want to do another USA UK. I'd play all this new wave because internationally those songs are known. In that case, like if I played this stuff, like I played this mix in the Philippines and these people knew it. They're like, how'd you guys all know this stuff? So like in Sad New Wave Club, there's actually people from the Philippines that listen in because they hear that music. They know that genre. So when they think of new wave, that's what they know. It's like 80s kind of pop, high energy, kind of synth pop. There's kind of different variations. WYSIWYG, he's very good at Google about it. Like synth pop, you ever heard, is a different genre of 80s new wave, the case there. So that's pretty good. Stuff like rap, like what you like listening to, like Erasure, Depeche Mode, anything.
Oh, I love all that.
That kind of stuff. And the thing is, that's kind of generation is lost now. So a lot of people, especially Jeff, when I did my debut on DFH, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jeff Fernandez at Total Encore. I'm like, dude, what should I play? And he's like, dude, just throw the new wave. They're gonna go nuts. They'll love it.
Yeah.
And you guys did. You guys all ate it up. That kind of case there. So it's like, and and I think that's kind of how it just started that. And people always kind of knew me as hey, this guy plays new wave, but. It's funny thing, I didn't want to be known as that. I wanted to be known as I can try to play as all different kinds of genres.
As Ted the Terrible.
Shout out to D-Double. D-Double's here. Hey, D-Double, we saw your flyer with your name.
Yeah. With David.
That song, Who Are You Going to Run To? Or, that song.
Derek
and I have been like searching the lyrics. Like it's not available, right? On Spotify or anything.
So
he's trying to add this to our playlist.
Just talk to Eugene when he sees you.
Oh, Eugene, okay.
Co-workers. DJ Eugene and Warren Rigg are co-workers.
Yeah, they see each other every day. Just get it from him.
Did that song blow up outside Chicago?
Cool.
You know what the funny thing was? I don't think it did. So, but the funny thing about it was that this goes back to, so I did Amy Del Mundo, Lyle's sister's wedding out in LA. Dave was there. That was back when they got married. But I actually played some new wave, and I had people coming up to me like, "Hey, this stuff is cool. Like, where can I get this?" So like, and I was like, "Oh, you can't get this stuff in Cali, man. This is from Chicago." So I actually was able to, hook up some people and gave them my mixes. And then when I put my stuff on Mixcloud recently, so you go to Mixcloud under DJ Vince Magsino, I put New Wave Sessions 1 through 4. I have like people commenting like from like different places, like, man, I miss this stuff. It's especially now in this pandemic, like I haven't heard these things in 30 years. It like brings back memories. So it's kind of stuff like that. It doesn't matter what you play on Twitch. It's like people just love it because it just brings back memories. And that's the cool thing. I was telling Mike about this yesterday. It's like, it doesn't matter what you play. People listen to it because if they want to listen to it, they'll stay in your channel. And then if they don't like it, they're going to move on. So it goes there. So I don't care, if you're in the channel, is because people want to go there they're curious. So I will learn one thing too from Twitch is to when you for DJs that stream is when you put your title, when you put on your stream, like Soulful Sundays, you put Sundays. I always put house music first and then Soulful Sundays, because when people see house music, they're like, "Ooh, cool! I want to go in there and see what's in there." Or if you put you put like freestyle, like in case or if you put hip hop, or you put drum and bass or something like that. Like I think Nibbler did it on USUJ. He put UK Garage, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I want to go in there and see what's UK Garage," and that stuff was cool. So it's like that. So it's cool, like how music actually kind of expresses, like how people, how they enjoy themselves. So I think that's really cool. How and props up to you, Jeff.
Poggy, you're a Poggy bastard.
Hey, big shout out to Alvin Cortez. Alvin Cortez.
Alvin, that's my man. Well,
Shout out to UK fam.
I enjoy your streams.
I'll show you a picture of my lawnmower, Elvin, so you can see what a suburbanite looks like with a lawnmower.
What did he say? A lawnmower.
Hey, Elvin, I don't know if you missed it. But if you're gonna do a USA to UK part 3, Vince wants in too. So
yeah, I gotta play all the imports on it. So going back to the case, but yeah, I mean, props up to you, Jeff. I mean, in this case, we're putting this Dance for Home together. I mean, it's just cool how everyone gets together and just kind of just shares. So it's like. And nowadays, it's like it doesn't matter what day it is. You can always listen to also. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. Right. I just listen to Twitch in the car because there's so many cool things. My wife's like, "Are you on that again?" I'm like, yeah, I'm on it. Okay. So it's just like all different kind. It doesn't matter what day, what hour. There's just always cool music to listen to. That's the cool thing about Twitch.
And it's live. It's live. It's all mixed live.
Yeah. Yeah, like Jeff Bobby, I found this trance DJ in Croatia. He was like streaming from this awesome like backdrop, and I whispered you, Jeff. I'm like, you gotta check out this trance DJ. And then I bet too, and then I just followed him, and now I follow this guy. It's just cool stuff like that. I mean, like DJs you never heard of, and it's just their coolest thing. Like already you're talking about like Australian DJs, European DJs. We met this house DJ Fern Ribs from Brazil. So it's just like it was cool.
Brazil. I've listened to a couple from Bali. There's a couple of dope DJs, house DJs from Bali.
Yes.
Should we take a family trip?
Yeah.
To Bali.
We're gonna do a DFH World Tour.
Yeah, we need to take DFH World Tour. So I think our first stop is gonna be in Hawaii, Jeff. So we have to do
do Hawaii, then Australia.
Speaking of Australia, Eccentric. Props up to Eccentric
there. What's up, buddy?
There you go. There's my
Eccentric.
family out there.
Good afternoon, good night.
Eccentric is shy Australian. That's what Nick calls him.
Yeah, we got to go to Ibiza.
You're shy?
Yeah.
Just shy. Just by relation.
Yeah.
We're about halfway done, Eccentric.
All right, so like we're talking about all the DJs that we see today and all the influences, right? Like it's easy to kind of get a good idea of new music and what other people are playing. But back in like 94, you guys are playing these, smaller college gigs and whatnot. What music are you playing, and how are you getting your influences for the music you play at these gigs, right? Like are you just playing what you like? Are you playing what everybody else likes? Or are you getting influences now from other DJs because you're kind of bigger now, right? So
I think most of it streamed from. I mean, we brought a lot of the college stuff to the events. So when we started doing weddings, we were DJing new wave. I mean, we started doing a lot of that stuff at the weddings because that's what the crowd started going for. So we would play 50-50. We have to play the cha-chas. We'd play the tangos and all the adult stuff. And then we'd eventually play the house and new wave. So we brought a lot of the stuff of what we did in college to the wedding scene back then in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, I mean, like stuff that's cool thing. Like I always joke around, like all like the new wave stuff. You could play at a wedding, and everybody would dance to it because they just know it. I mean, it shouts out, go to Asian American national anthem. Everybody knows that song, because I Love Triangle. Doesn't matter how many times you heard it. It always gets people out on the dance floor.
It works.
Yep.
It works, just like Jeff
to this day.
I play the new wave.
Guaranteed. Well, at least for a Filipino wedding.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
but you know what?
Even the college parties.
College parties, yeah. Even
yeah.
like whenever I do like different color, like American weddings, they know it. They know that '80s kind of stuff there. I mean, I did a wedding.
New Order, Depeche Mode, Erasure.
Yeah.
They know all that stuff.
It's pretty universal.
Yeah.
I think I forgot when, but I did a wedding where the bride was, she's like, hey, like the last hour of the wedding, just bring it back. Just bring it way back. And I'm like, all right, how far back? And are you ready for this? In that case. So you guys know how it is, DJs. Like, and the cool thing about, back then it was different. I mean, you had your Creator Records and you knew exactly what you had in there. So it's not like today where it's all digital, where you could just, oh, cool, I get a song, that's it. Back then, you knew exactly what was in that crate and you can only have it at your disposal. Yeah. But at that time it was cool because you knew like, okay, before I go out to my gig, let me see what records I want to put in there. And then you had another bag of, okay, maybe have extras just in case if I go over or what's so, and I think I forgot who talked about, like, back then in those parties they used to DJ, like all our friends like, hey man, can I come and bring your records with you so I could go in and get the party for free? Like, yeah, no problem. Help you carry your speakers and that kind of stuff there too. So back then it was cool that you knew exactly what you had. So like, like I think Mike, you talked about it before, like you're in the club, it's only a certain genre. But when it comes to like mobile events or like a wedding, I mean, you got to have everything there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just like Jeff said, you bring in 8 crates of records. So, yeah. I mean,
and back then, like
4 trips just to bring that in.
Yeah. I mean, like I still have we have crates of 45s, all like the old 80s, like slow songs, stuff like, Breathe, Hands to Heaven or stuff like that. Yeah. It's all on 45. And you had Lady Red. Like I still have our Lady Red on vinyl, 45. So it's like that, and you literally had, just like you have here, is to put one record here, and this is this is the adapter for a 45. So you actually have to put the record in there and put it in that case there. So back then, and that's really where it evolved from the 70s, the disc jockey, because it was really, a record. It was really like this is even before CDs, a disc, and you actually had you're spinning, discs, so you're spinning this wax, this vinyl like that, and putting it back there. And back then, when Vergil mentioned about Windy City Music, that's when we first rented. They would actually supply the whole rental, so they had the turntables, the mixer, and that was pretty cool. Like you just show up and bring your records, all that. So nowadays, if you rent from a company, just like how Calvin was talking about, I forgot who was talking about, just walk into the gig with your laptop and plug it in, and boom, you're like our club, you're ready to go. So back then,
you have that Yusufa picture, Artie, so you can see all the crap we used to have to carry.
Yeah. If you can.
I saw the flyer. Let's see.
I think it's Yusufa Valentine's. I labeled it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to walk in with a laptop. You can have a USB stick now.
Now, yeah.
and back then, still. In that case, there, you oh, there you go. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look at that truss that we had to freaking set
man.
up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this was actually at the Palmer House, which is actually resting in peace. Gone now, but I mean that literally, it took hours to set up. Like Arizona, like how you talked about it too. It's like back then there's a truss, and you actually literally had to put each one. There's a strobe light on there. There's these park cans.
We had these. You see the things on the end? Those were like prior to track spots and robo scans. Those things were huge. I don't know if you can see them on the end, but that's how long they were. Yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom in.
I mean, look how big those things were.
So those are kind of like the pre kind of lights you see in the club, like the first generation. This is Martin was a company from Denmark. They were Danish, and they had the RoboScan line, which is basically one of the first intelligent lighting. So what I mean by intelligent lighting is you actually had the ability
to program it.
You could program the lights. So you can.
I'm having nightmares just looking at this because
right, like the cable management.
I used to have like when I helped my dad DJ, like we'd set stuff like this up. every weekend.
So you see the four
Sure,
little
yeah.
boxes in between the trusses? Those were all the controls that you plug the lights into, and then that's what you would program to turn the lights on and off. Yeah.
So
man.
we did have the incentives of all our buddies go, hey, you know, help us set up. Of course, after the gig, if we go out to eat, you know, we all pay for their meal and all that too. But
Yeah.
those lights were heavy. But
yeah, those lights were heavy.
Yeah, WYSIWYG. Those lights were heavy.
That's how it was back then. You know, in the case of mobile, now it's so simplified. But I mean, we kind of
wanted to differentiate ourselves from everybody else, so we invested in all that lighting.
Yo, Jimbo was asking, what if it?
We made sure that
you had to restrain it and make sure, so you had to equally balance the weight.
Yeah, you have to equally balance the weight. Like you had the 2 tripods, so like that would help it keep it stable. The only thing you'd have to worry about is making sure that, I'm sure this is like two trusts that you connect at the end together. So you have to make sure that was secure.
There's the shiny disco ball in the middle, so they have a strobe light and everything. But this was early '90s, I think this one it was. So in case
93, I think this was.
Yeah, so in that case, I mean, you know, back then, and then, you know, all the DJs, the guest DJs that come, they would bring their records, and, you know, they all, you know, they all line them up on a table or on the side. So I mean, there's just tons and tons.
That's those were JBL's G series, and so there's a sub on the bottom.
These totally were not.
These are when they started to get light. These were still plywood, but they didn't have the carpet, so they were a little bit lighter than the PVs. But that was a 15-inch on top, and then you had the 18-inch sub on the bottom.
Calvin Cornell was 10 years old in 1993.
Jeff, how old were we?
I was 7.
I mean, I was 12.
I was 11. So
this was my freshman year of high school. Yeah, it was my freshman year of high school. I did this one. So high school, freshman year of college. Sorry, freshman year of college. Yeah, so that's how the lights were back then. I mean, you had your friends were your crew, and then how would you incentivize you? Say, hey, we'll take
feed
you
them.
out.
We'll get you in for free, and we'll feed you.
We'll feed you. So that's you became the roadies and the groupies.
Total encore, Jeff. I still use a disco ball. For sure. I love that effect is still it's a timeless effect.
So let me ask a question. How did you come up with the name Sound Crisis? Because honestly, to me, it sounds like a rock band. Like they come out and they're like Sound Crisis. Right? Like where did that come from?
One of my buddies in high school named his group Identity Crisis, so I kind of ripped it off of his. So that's actually our first business card from '89. So that's when you can see the 708 area code back then.
So it's just you two, not your other 2 brothers that were interested.
No, but actually it's funny. They actually did end up DJing later.
What?
But they were never in it with us. They kind of did their own things at college.
Just for fun. Yep.
Actually, my younger brother, he made a ton of mix CDs. Vernimal. He went to UIUC and made I want to say 23 different series of discs. So he still has them online. A lot of trance and progressive.
This is all.
So Jeff, you probably like all that.
This is like EDM.
Pre-EDM. This is all the crowbar stuff back then.
Yeah, we knew it by their subgenres and just dance music. That's what it's called.
Yeah, so that's what that's why I love playing that kind of stuff in after hours. Kind of bring it back, just to remember those kind of clubbing days. And I always make props. I still think Crowbar was still hands down the best club in Chicago ever.
Crowbar was awesome.
Yeah, nothing will ever. For those of you who are able to experience that, and Elusive made a comment I'm lucky I got in, but that place was just phenomenal. I mean, there was no nightclub whatsoever. I mean, the way the nightclubs are run today is totally different.
Way different.
Way different. I mean, back then it's like, who you knew, and there was a culture. It's kind of like if you ever watched that.
Oh,
did you get cut off? Oh, we lost Vince.
Vince got paused. Oh, there he is. There he is.
He got paused.
It's like that movie.
The movie Click.
Click.
Like the movie 54. So there's that culture in the club, that kind of case there. So Crowbar actually had its own culture within there. It's like the Saturday night, they had Bang Fridays. They had, forgot what it was Saturday nights, but it was Terry Bristol and
Val. Psycho.
Yeah. And that was just straight up like total like hard hitting house. Not like the hard house like UC house, like a different kind of hard. I mean, it's like it's the kind of stuff that I would play and the real Crowbar. I mean, that was where everyone, and this is that kind of time where
Do you know what years?
I was probably mid to late 90s.
I mean, I was going in like 99, 98.
Yeah, so I was
So in the mid 90s, like so the Bulls, right? So the 90s Bulls. Dennis Rodman.
He was huge. He would be there.
He was a regular at Crowbar.
Yeah, he was the regular. And then back then, like when we used to go out, another club that was kind of epic for those of you is Shelter on Fulton Street. It's a condominium now, but Dave Medusa had Medusa Thursdays at Shelter, and that was like legendary. Anyone that was in the club scene in Chicago back then would go there on Thursday night.
Yeah.
That was
it all started back. I don't know if some of you guys remember this, but back in Medusa's off Sheffield, when it was an 18 and over place. So that was for us. That was kind of our zero gravity at the time.
Yep.
Okay.
Was Medusa's on Sheffield, 3 floors of music back then. And that was awesome. That's what he started back then.
I feel like that was kind of a trend in the early 2000s around that time. It was always big places with a lot of different music. Like you would go to one room and there's a hip hop room, and then there was a
it's kind of like Transit was like that.
Transit was that. Soundbar was like that.
Soundbar was like that as well.
What was Excalibur later? After it was Excalibur,
Castle.
Yeah, when it was Castle, that had a bunch of different rooms, different music. Like it was just so dope.
What did artists put up there?
Our Crowbar was for those who couldn't get into Shelter.
That's true. That's true. So that is actually true. If you couldn't go to Shelter, so that was in Fulton, then you make your way up Halstead to Kingsbury to go to Crowbar. So they weren't that far away. So you would actually, it's funny because you knew the people that couldn't get into Shelter because they were at Crowbar and vice versa. It's the funniest thing. And then, like later from Shelter, we'd go to Crowbar and be like, so you couldn't get in, so you're here. It's like,
I don't
of age or because of
no, because
you couldn't get back.
You could get in.
The line was too long. You didn't know anybody that night.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, it was so packed. I mean, back then, like a Thursday night. And this is it doesn't.
If you weren't there by 10, you weren't getting in.
That's true.
This is 13.
Unless you knew somebody.
You knew somebody.
Yeah, you have to know you need to know like Dave Medusa. You need to know the bouncer, or if you had like the Shelter, the VIP.
The VIP card. Yeah.
So.
And the truth is, sometimes they wouldn't pack the place, but run the line so that it still looks like it's packed.
So
you have to know somebody, even if it's not packed.
It goes back to that movie 54 with Steve Rebell. That was the same thing. They had made that comment. Steve wouldn't care. There could be like 10 people in there, and there's 100 people outside waiting. He would leave it like that because
they hold the line.
Wanted to, exactly. So, but going back to like what Ari said, like Thursday nights. I mean, there was times like 2:30 in the morning. After the Bulls game, Dennis Rodman would go to the club. I mean, he'd walk in there, and everyone's like backing around, like, "What's going on?" And you see this big, tall guy, blonde hair, like, "Holy shit, Dennis Rodman!"
And Crowbar was one of the 5 o'clock clubs, right? On Saturday.
So that one, I mean, that would go till 5 a.m. But then it didn't stop there. People go to after hours.
Yeah,
they go
there's still after hours.
Excel in Greektown, right there in the corner of what's that street? Halstead and Jackson.
Yeah,
there was right across from Greektown. Excel. And then that after party, so like Psycho Bitch and Val would go, Terry and Val would go from Crowbar, and then they make their way over to XL. And then the party would go from like 5:36 until like 9-10 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, there are literally people. So the way you did it was some people they would go late to Crowbar and then stay up, or they're doing stuff. But it's like, man, I don't know how people could do this.
I feel like that's not how it is anymore. That just even pre I know we're COVID
Pre-COVID.
times, but pre-COVID, for the last like 3 years, that's not been the scene for anything like that in Chicago. Like
After
there's
hours,
no,
yeah.
there's no like till 10 o'clock in the morning place. It wasn't go out and stay out all night. It's not like go out and stay all night. It's like go to a sports bar, hang out with your homies, and then get drunk there, take an Uber home at like maybe 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right?
And the
like
thing about this place too, and if I remember, the people that are under 21, you could go to XL. So in that case, there because it was it's 18 and over.
There was no alcohol.
No alcohol.
Yeah.
That's how they were able to do it. That's how they were able to do it because they didn't have a liquor license.
Yeah.
So that's why so all the kids, like the under 21, either they go out to the teen clubs or what they would do is just sleep and then wake up early and then go. I mean, like my little brother Vernon used to do that. He'd wake up like at 4 or 5 in the morning. Okay, let's go to after hours. And that was their set. And those guys
look at Vernon saying it was not fun coming out in the sunlight after XL.
Yeah, right. You ever see that movie? What is it? Varsity Blues, where they go to the strip club and they come out in the morning and they're like, that was I felt that so many times, like leaving places like XL in the morning when the sun is up and you're like, nope, I need to get out of here.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the thing is that that's fine. And Vergil will be like, he'll agree with this too. It's like when we
try not to mention the drugs.
So
it was implied.
I don't know what. I thought you were talking about like bread.
Bread rolls. Yeah, bread rolls. All right, I think it's time for a shot.
Not body rolls. I thought it was body rolls.
Not body rolls.
Jeff, we'll talk about body rolls a little later.
No, we won't. I gotta go.
Yeah. Thanks. So funny thing about that, like you guys, everyone's probably have stories about going to the club and going home in the morning. Probably the best one I had was my parents wouldn't know. Your parents wouldn't know what time you come home unless you did something, so they would notice. So mine was, I think one time we came home, my little brother came home from Crow or whatever it was, is I had the habit of grabbing the newspaper on the driveway and bringing it inside. So when you brought it inside, my dad would figure it out, like, okay, they were out late because why is the paper on the table?
Yeah.
And you know what time the newspapers deliver in the morning? They usually deliver at 4:35 in the morning, that kind of case there. And that was those are the longest drives driving home, like, morning, like Nick's will talk about it. Like driving home to Mundelein or Vernon Hills from downtown at like 5:30 in the morning. And it's all bright and sunny coming up there. And it's just a long drive home in the case. But those are the days. But, those are fun. I mean, every genre has their kind of like heyday. Like, what was the heyday club? What was their heyday thing they did? It's just kind of your memories. It was pretty cool.
Quick random question. Are all your siblings in the chat and then you two? Or are we missing one?
I think we're missing one.
I don't see Vic. I don't see Vic in here. I see Vernon.
Like a really fun thing, like 1, 2, 3. Who's your favorite? Weird.
Who's your favorite DJ?
Brother.
Oh, actually, who is the better DJ of all you four now? I guess Vic can't speak for himself.
Do all four of them DJ?
Yeah,
they did. At least Vic and Brennan at one point did.
Yeah, but the only thing with Vic is he's old school. He was still records. He never got into Serato or digital.
Yeah, he would make his mixes on the reel to reel.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whereas Vernon would do his on the computer.
Different question. Who's your best friend? Is that different?
Are one of your brothers your best friend?
No.
Who's
your best friend?
Pause. My best friend's in Las Vegas, but that's a different story.
Okay, we're not doing brothers' best friends.
Oh no, we're pretty much all close. Since
artist goes, Vic was better at drinking.
Yes, he was.
Vic, where are you?
Yeah,
he's anti-social media.
Yeah, but he made an account. I don't know if he's in here. It's in Subliminal. If you see that, that's him. He was in our brother stream,
He was on the brother stream.
Yeah, he was on the brother
you
stream.
guys remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, Vergil and Vince are best friends. Is that true or false?
See, that's what she was trying to get at.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Oh.
you mean closest? Yeah, it would probably us too, because we were the business associates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to get to. Okay. So here we are.
Well, it didn't sound like that.
That's
I know. It's like the longest way to get to
Trying to start a family feud.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we did business, for a long time, and you kind of just learning. We just learned everything on our own. No one ever taught us anything, whether it was in the wedding industry or the nightclub industry. I mean, Filipino or 18 to view. So
we would actually do both. Yeah.
Yeah, we did both. Yeah, I mean, no one ever.
What would you prefer?
Honestly, to tell you the truth, for me,
weddings.
Yeah, weddings. I guess I know, like some. I think Mike or whoever said some are so nervous. I already know. I mean, if you do it so long, you kind of get into that kind of. Exactly how to anticipate and all that. So to me, weddings are. It's just you get into it, and if you like it, you just keep evolving and that kind of case there. And I like. Yeah.
A lot of the debuts we did were for Filipino medical associations, and if you guys have ever been to one of those, it is a production.
Yeah, and because it's not just one.
It's not just one. There's like
15
7, 12. Yeah, 7. Anywhere from 6 to 12 debutantes. Yeah. So they would have practices every week on dancing, and I mean, they would have such a strict regiment of list that it was such a pain because there's just so much that you had to do for those cotillions.
Yeah, and then like they'd start practicing like literally. I would probably say maybe at least 9 months before the event.
Months.
Yeah, and it's like a whole production. It's choreographed and all the case there, and then like the one PMAC, which is Philippine Medical Association Chicago, they usually have theirs at the
Hilton
downtown.
Hilton Towers.
Hilton Towers.
I think that's the one Abed was in. I remember going.
Yeah.
Were you guys the DJs for that?
Probably.
Probably. Yeah. Find out now.
Did you ever do Ilocanos of the Midwest? 'Cause I was Miss Lucasor a year.
There were so many that we have, but the thing is, back then cotillions is like everyone would go to that because that was your friends were there. People would crash the cotillion, that kind of stuff there, and then they want to go there because they want to hear all the music too. So when there was ever cotillion where it went so long that they couldn't even play music, like all your friends they're pissed because they wanted to come here to party and dance and have fun. They couldn't do it because the production was so long.
Right.
Yeah. They take that dance and make it a 3-hour event, and it's just so long. So
Eris is right. Like 2 hours just to get through the whole presentation, right? Because it was so long.
Yeah. So hands down, weddings are. I would take a wedding over a cotillion any day. I mean, cotillion is probably less work to do, but with a wedding, it's just if you know how to run it and you know how to organize yourself, and it's probably how you say it's an easier flow. Where a cotillion is, I mean, if you get a cool bride and groom, great. But cotillion is like the choreographer, they're telling you, oh, hey, this music has to be like this, or whatever. If they want to practice beforehand and they can't get it right, and they still want to practice before, it's just like, all right, let's just get this over with, in the case. And then, all the guests are like, all right, come on, let's go, let's finish this so we can party.
Yeah.
You can see it now. They're like, they're falling asleep because they want to get done, in that case.
Yeah, Tita Eris said a few comments. I think he said total time, or was it total encore? Someone said you were only DJing for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
out of the whole thing.
Maybe at 10 o'clock you would start. If
for a cotillion.
For a cotillion, yeah.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
That's why, like, whenever a cotillion, you ask, okay, you find out the program, they'll be like, oh crap, this is gonna be long.
It's gonna be long. Yeah.
That's why when I DJ cotillion, when I do cotillions, I have them send me the draft of the program first, and then I tell them where we can combine things just to shorten the time of the program. Yeah. But me personally, I prefer weddings over cotillions as well, just because it's a little bit more open format. You don't have, I do like cotillions though because they give you like either the up and coming types of songs that are that you're going to end up playing a lot later, or
TikTok songs.
TikTok.
TikTok songs now.
Yeah.
I DJ'd a cotillion this past Saturday, and it was a little weird because it was only 50 people, and to get the kids on the dance floor, we would play the TikTok songs.
Yeah.
So Urge and I would play it. But they would come on the dance floor. They do their dance, the TikTok dance, for those 30 seconds that they know of that TikTok song, and then they'd leave the dance floor. And it's like, and the me and Urge are like, what are we supposed to do? And then we're like, you know what, forget it. We're gonna play for the parents because they stay on the dance floor. So yeah, that's.
No, it's true. I mean, sometimes music now, it's like I have to ask my kids, because my son's like, all right, what do you guys listen to? Then I know in the case there, and like it's stuff like so far fetched. It's nothing you hear on the radio. It's like TikTok or like where do you guys hear these songs? Even my little ones, like I hear it from YouTube. I'm like, okay, just YouTube and TikTok is where you gotta go to find out what's the good music. In that case.
Yeah. What's really cool with my 15-year-old with Lucas. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad too because then I don't get the newer songs from him. But he really loves like 70s and 80s music. Like that's the stuff. Wow. That's the music.
You got
lucky.
So,
that's a good child.
It's funny you mentioned that because, and Vergil will agree with this. So back in the days, when you're a kid, you're listening to your parents' music. It's all the 80s, like whatever, like Engelbert Humperdinck,
70s, 60s stuff.
So
yeah,
the funny now, our kids, what dad and mom's music's gonna be like all the stuff that we listen to, like all of the. So it's funny, like when I do like Sad New Wave Club, it's like my kids know all the music. Because
my kids actually listen to the 80s because of Umbrella Academy started bringing a lot of that stuff back.
That makes sense. Ready Player One.
Yeah, Ready Player One.
That brought it back.
It's funny that like even when I used to do parties, like there's these younger kids that come up to you and ask to play like an 80s song. I'd be like, what? You weren't even born when this was going on, but you play it, and they all dig it.
Oh yeah,
I think it's cool. It's like reverse cycle, but that's awesome.
Play Sweet Dreams, and like my 15-year-old will run in here. That's my jam.
And that's pretty cool how the music kind of cycles back, and I think that's awesome. That, younger.
Well, I mean, it goes back to what you're saying. Like you were talking about your parents playing music on Sundays, right? Like while they're cleaning the house and while they're hanging out, and it's just a whole list of playlists on Sunday, right? Like I mean, when I don't have a child yet, but if I had a kid, all Sunday would be like Tupac, Biggie, and Lupe Fiasco. Right? Like that's what they're gonna grow up listening to and be like, oh yeah, that's what my dad listened to when he was a kid.
No, it's funny.
Not that. You'd actually play it in their crib.
Yeah,
That's the music. That's the music.
Is that right? That's right.
Yeah.
You play it in their crib.
That's what I did.
Play all the music right to their crib, dude. Start them off early.
It's so funny. Like even in the car, I listen to podcasts. Like I listened before, like when Tony Arzana first started putting podcasts out, and I would listen to it. My kids would be like, listen to Tony Arzana. So they know who like Bad Boy Bill is. They know who Julian Jumperez is because that's the music we listen to. So they're with it. So my little kid would be like, Bad Boy Bill. And then like, I think one of my friends is like, how do you know that? It's like, well, my dad was in the car. It's so funny.
So awesome.
It cycles back. Like when we were young, we were listening to dad's music. Now our kids are listening we're mom and dad's music. In that case, it's funny. I love it.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till like in like 10, 15 years when we're like talking to our kids and this is my Twitch stream from pandemic 2020.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
2020.
I'm gonna be playing all the VODs for our kids.
Yeah. This is my set for the DFH 33.
This is your Lolo Jeff Mobby and your Lola Abed.
No, this is your Ninong and Ninang, Jeff and Abed.
Yeah, this is how Ninong used to do his body rolls.
Actually, I can't wait. I know we got clips. We gotta have clips. Yeah. You better have
this
clips.
right here. That's your Tito Huge Jackman.
There's your Tito Huge Jackman.
No, that's so. But like Derek and I just realized because there's not a lot of service out here in Montana and Wyoming, but our car actually has the Sirius
satellite radio.
Yeah. And like we primarily listened to 50s and 60s station, which was like, I guess what our parents listened to. among other things. And 90s, obviously, because that's what we grew up to. But yeah, I completely agree. Like all what our parents had us listen to is like what we enjoy, for sure.
Yeah.
This is my youngest son, Calvin. Calvin, say hi to everyone.
What's up, Calvin?
His name is Calvin.
Say hi, every DJ.
What's up,
Hi.
Calvin?
Yep. Hands up.
Hey, Calvin.
Hello, talk from home. Say hello, talk from home.
Hello, Talk from Home.
Okay.
All
And then
right.
what name do you hear in Twitch all the time? What is it?
Calvin Cornell. Every
He
Who's
hears
your
Calvin
favorite?
Morris.
Who's your favorite DJ on Dance from Home?
Okay,
Calvin.
We'll take it a step
Huge
back.
Jackman, isn't it?
Don't
Who do you hear on Twitch all the time? What DJ name?
I don't actually know. There's so many of them always DJ every day.
There you go.
everybody.
Fair point.
everybody
Fair
does
point.
it.
So
That's a fair
political.
point.
That was
That was
Uh,
a very good
That's
answer.
my brother's lucky in the fact that his kids have been able to watch him. None of my kids ever really got to watch me DJ until now.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
Wait, let's talk about your
That's cool,
kids.
though.
So how many kids do you have of each, and how old are they and their names?
I have 3 kids. Justin's my oldest. I don't know if you have a picture, Artie.
From Facebook. Or...
Alright.
You're the one that just started U of I.
Yeah, the one that just started U of I. He's 18,
Yeah.
and then I've got
What's
2
his
girls. No, he's got a cell phone. And then my 2 girls, Alyssa is 16, and then my youngest daughter Vanessa is turning 13. So my middle one is a dancer, and then my oldest played hockey in high school, and then my youngest plays hockey as well. And she's got the I'm better than you syndrome, so she's actually going places right now.
that's good.
She's only 7th grade, and she's already on the recruiting path for
Oh, that's
college.
awesome.
Congrats.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
Crap.
She
Is
looks
that why you went to
fierce and
Detroit?
strong.
That's why we were in Detroit this weekend for hockey. She's actually on the West Coast Selects, which is the international team. So we were supposed to play in France this past April, but then the pandemic hit.
That is,
That would have
So
been
that-
awesome.
Either
So
way.
cool.
Yeah.
she looks
So,
fierce and strong and awesome.
yeah. So she wants to make the Olympic team. So she's got
Jeez,
aspirations.
that's so
I
cool.
believe in her. So
Let's go.
congrats. Your children look
Yeah. And all these
Beautiful.
pictures were actually taken by me.
Oh, sweet.
oh nice.
Uh,
Even the middle one?
Even the
You're
middle one. So I
You're
actually
the
shoot.
photographer for
I'm the photographer for their dance studio and a couple other studios.
Nice. Oh, I love it.
Ah.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then I did sports photography. So that's what I took all these pictures.
Very cool.
That's what actually got me out of DJing. So I can get into that later.
Oh yeah, that's a separate.
That is another question.
That's another episode. That's
that will be a-
that's another episode.
No, that's
we'll
No,
be
we can-
talking about.
we
we'll
can talk
be
about
talking
that.
We can talk about that
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Why don't we go into that
You
now?
have a lot of photography.
So I know you DJ'd till 2007, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
and then you
up
went
until
into-
about. So I started. We did the mobile thing. So we did that hard up. Pause.
Pause.
Up until about 2002, 2003 is when I hooked up with one of my buddies, Freddie Aboza. I don't know if you guys know him.
Of course,
He was
Freddie
yeah.
O.
Yeah, Freddie O.
Yo,
He was DJing at Sauce at the time, and he got me a guest spot there, and the owners loved me and took me on as a resident there.
Cool.
So I ended up
super cool.
doing residency there for 2 years, and then they went and bought Domain and turned that into Level. So I moved over there then, and then DJ'd at Level for 3 years. So 2002 is when Justin was born. So with one kid, you can imagine Sauce at least was a 1 a.m. Friday, 2 a.m. Saturday bar, or wait, no, it was 2 a.m. Friday, 3 a.m. Saturday bar. So I wouldn't get home too late then. And that was when Justin was born. And then in 2004, when Alyssa was born, is when I moved over to Level. And after about 3 years, and then Vanessa was born, I just it took a toll on me.
Yeah.
Being there 3 nights a week and not getting home till 7, 8 in the morning, and then having to take care of them because my wife would jump to work because she's a nurse, so she worked the weekends, and I'd have to take care of the kids on Saturday, and then have to go back to the club that night.
Oh,
ouch.
Ouch.
So it
That's
took a
rough.
toll on me for a while, and then that's what I'm like. I wanted to pursue my photography after that, so I kind of got burnt out at the time.
So time out with the photography. How long did it take you to start and then like to go into it professionally?
So as soon as I stopped in the end of 2006, beginning of 2007, I hit photography hard. So I always loved photography. I mean, I had shot film all the time, and I was doing pictures. I actually started doing the photos for Level. When I wasn't DJing, I would be shooting pictures for them. So I would do it for their website and for Scene and all that stuff. So they would use my pictures for that. And that's really where it took off. And then I wanted to pursue that. So I started shooting weddings in 2008. This is one of my couples that was at the Bean.
Cool.
Wait, it's on fire?
No, that's
He's not on fire.
It's the lights.
Lights in the building.
the lights.
This is the skyline. This is the skyline of
That's
Chicago.
amazing. You did a
That's
great job.
the other side of the bean.
Yeah, it's the other side of the Bean.
Yeah.
Just
Yes,
Photoshop
not the
me in
lake
that
face.
photo.
Look
Yeah.
at more on it.
The next one. So I've actually got to travel a lot, which was cool. This was actually an Indian wedding I did in Cabo.
Cool.
A destination wedding. You guys know how big Indian weddings can get. We've shot Indian weddings for 1,000 people. This was a 4-day, 6-event wedding that we shot in Cabo with 350 guests.
Jeez.
That's a destination wedding. So you can imagine how insane that was.
You were shooting all 4 days?
Yeah, we were shooting 6 events in 4 days.
Wow.
How many people are on your team for that kind of thing?
We had 2. So
Okay,
we
cool.
were pretty busy
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
that
awesome.
that weekend. But yeah, I've shot there. I've shot in England at a castle.
Shout out to Elvin.
Yes.
Shout out to
And one of my highlights, I don't know if you had that picture. I actually
one?
shot Brian Campbell's wedding.
Yep.
So cool. That's dope.
Yeah. So if you guys, for those of you who know, Brian Campbell was the defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Wait, what's his name? Campbell. Oh, Campbell.
Soupy. Yeah.
So cool.
Oh, does he have all his teeth?
Yeah. So there's
Sharp.
there's Patrick Sharp, and then Taze was there too. I think you have that picture.
That is super sweet.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
Taze. I love Taze. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, look
super
how young
cool.
they were. So this was in 2011. This was the year after they won the cup, and he had gotten
First cup.
traded, and he got traded to the Panthers. So when we shot his engagement session, he was wearing his
Campbell.
Panthers jersey. So that kind of
That
sucked.
is amazing. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that was one of my starstruck.
Yeah, that's
No,
really
I'm
dope.
starstruck looking at your
This is-
photos for the first
This was
time.
before Calvin Cornell was the official event
Official
DJ. of
DJ,
Chicago Black
Yeah.
Hawks.
Oh,
Free
man.
Calvin Cornell.
Look at that young buck.
So I hit it. Yeah. So once I stopped DJing, and then that's when Vince took over. I basically gave everything to him, and he started Magsino Mobile. So he wanted a fresh start, so he can go from there. Yeah. And then I did photography up until now. Actually, I'm still doing photography.
I saw your stories that you're doing hockey photography again, right?
Yeah. But all my weddings this year have been moved to next year, except for one. I have one in 2 weeks that I'm shooting in a backyard.
Awesome.
Otherwise, everything has been moved to next year. So that's another reason why I got into streaming, because I wasn't shooting.
Right.
And I kind of had the itch. So for that, since 2007, I had not touched anything since then.
Wow.
Wow.
Until March.
Until March, when you started to stream.
When I bought a
3 years, guys.
controller.
That's math.
Oh yeah.
And then started DJing on Facebook.
Did you just say 3 years? Raph?
Wait, you said 2017, right?
2007. So 13
Oh, I'm
years.
sorry. I
13 years.
misheard.
That was
all
13
that.
years.
Okay, I just
So I
wanted,
had-
I wanted to clarify there.
Sorry. You know,
Even like
This
Now
is
it's
math.
good.
This is math. This is math.
Now
This is
my hearing is also going up.
It is so nice.
so even because me and Vince have actually done a bunch of weddings together. I'm always working at the reception, so I never really, I just loved shooting pictures. So it never really crossed my mind at the time because I was doing what I loved to do at the time. So
That's awesome. So Vince, Vergil leaves, hands you the company. Then what? Do you hire another DJ? Do you look for a replacement for your brother? What happened?
So what happened back then is, as Virgil mentioned, so basically I just rebranded and started Magsino Mobile Entertainment back around that time, 2007. So did everything legit, business license, everything like that. At that time, Vernon was basically, he was starting to do his DJ, his music. So I just said, hey, can you help me out? I'll pay you this. And so he did. So he actually helped me through the years. And also my cousin Raymond, who was at that time, I think like teenager, 14, 15. So I go, hey, you want to make, some money? I mean, it's better than any job you're going to have. And my aunt was like, yeah, take him along everywhere you go. He'll be there, and just as long as you give him something. So
Yeah.
hey, do you want to make $100? And he like, yeah, sure. Whatever it was in that case. So that's basically how I started. So through those years, even till now, I've always been a single operator. So it's a little bit different than like Artie, how you're a multi-operator, or X-Fade, or like Jeff Fernandez has a couple of DJs, or other companies. So my philosophy was always single operator, because that's all I could handle. It's all I really wanted to do. I mean, this was to me, it wasn't a full-time career as a side gig, but it was a very good side gig. I mean,
and actually even before that, when me and Vince would do it, it was always us two.
It was always
so. We never separated. We never did our own thing.
Oh, so you guys are always together.
It was always
DJing.
on Chrysler Productions together.
Got it.
Yeah. So in that case, there, I mean, everything was branded. So people would call me multiple days, like for example, 9/11/01 or 9 was it 9/10/11 September 10th 2011. Like when that the year before, I had like 4 people like within the whole week call and like hey, I'm sorry, I'll take the first one, I'll refer you to another DJ at the time. So, and I always liked it that way, because that way I could concentrate and exactly represent my brand. And as a multi-operator, Artie, and Mike and Jeff, it's like you can't recreate yourself. I mean, you could show someone how to do it, but you're only as good as yourself. But in the case there, I mean, even within multi-ops, and there's always, and I used to be like part of American Disc Jockey Association, where I always met all these owners of like Joe Madrano when he was showing the road. But after that, all these different companies, I'd always talk to those owners. And with the multi-operating DJ companies, the owner is really more focused on the business side, as opposed to the operation, where you're just teaching the DJs how to DJ the wedding. As a single operator, I mean, you're doing everything. Yeah. You're doing the sales calls, you're doing the prep, you're doing the gig, from start to finish. But I liked it because that was fun. In case I kept it in house and just had to, pay my brother, and kept it within the family.
Yeah.
So it was easy. So, and people always ask, like, hey, do you ever want to expand? And I definitely would do it. It takes a lot of dedication to start off the ground. I mean, if something ever happened, this is pre-COVID. So like if I ever lost my, I could probably use this as a foundation to really spring if I would really want to do it full time. But through all these years, I've always had it like people always say, they never knew I had 2 jobs. You had your regular full time job and a side gig. And sometimes, obviously, there are some good months where your side gig actually made more than your real job. Okay, so those are the days, the heydays.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was doing as a single operator. I think forgot what year it was. I think I almost had like 45 weddings just on my own, in 1 year, one wedding season, and wedding season here in Chicago is, it's a little different. I think wedding season, if you guys agree, probably would start, maybe like May till like September, October. That was kind of like, the season, and then everything else.
The wedding season.
Yeah. So in the case, I mean, just like Virgil said, everything I have this year is pushed off to next year. I actually have one wedding I just actually booked a couple weeks ago on Halloween. So I won't be doing DFH on Halloween, but it's a.
What are you gonna dress up as?
You know what? The cool thing with this couple is it's totally like non-formal. It's just the bride and groom. They were supposed to get married in
Love
Vegas.
that.
There's supposed to be a destination wedding in Vegas, but then they're like, screw it, let's just do it here. Let's just throw a Halloween party, a wedding, but very informal. So what they're doing is basically two different sets. Like they're having a ceremony outside, which I'm providing this music, the ceremony setup, and then they're gonna have like the eating, kind of like the first part of dinner, like for the parents and the parents' friends, and then there's a break, and then their friends will come after, like from 8:30 to 11, and it's just
Very
basically
cool.
he told me just straight up, it's like a bar, just go
Are you
at
gonna-
it.
Just play. Yeah, play.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna,
Are
are
you
you gonna wear a
gonna
costume?
dress up?
Yeah, I'm gonna dress
Party.
up.
You're gonna wear a vest. And
Party.
wear a
We'll
vest.
see.
Yes.
We'll
Are
see.
you going
We'll
as
see.
Ted the Terrible?
So that's gonna be
That's
my
terrible.
Halloween, doing a wedding, so it'll be fun. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of how I got the streaming really is, when this all started, I just saw. So going back before, like I used to see DJs on Facebook, with stream, but it was like, yeah, big deal, they're DJ on Facebook. I didn't really pay attention to it. Say, hey, say hi. So then when the streaming thing out, because everyone's doing it, I just got sucked into it, and so I think I put on my Facebook page one time, like, okay, I got sucked in, I'll do it. So the very first one I did was on Facebook Live. I used my wife's iPad, and then the lighting was really crappy, and I just used my equipment here, and I did a new wave set. And that, if it's still up there, I got within like 2 or 3 days, the first new wave set I did, I had like at least almost 3,000 views.
That's
I
so.
think
Nice.
Ate Lorraine sent that to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I was. That's when I first learned about you streaming. I was
Yeah.
watching that Facebook video.
So the whole Facebook thing, I did that like kind of like middle of March, and then kind of like of course, like everyone else, I got shut down, and then toward like maybe like beginning of May, when Restream, I found out what that was, so I started doing Restream. I was doing both on Facebook and Twitch, and then I got to cut off. I still couldn't with Twitch, and then finally, I think it hit me like right before Memorial Day. Everyone, like, people are telling me, "Hey, there's people commenting on your stream on Twitch. You're not paying attention to them." Because I'm paying attention to people on Facebook. So that's when it's like, okay, fine. I think I'll have to decide, what I want to do. So I said, screw Facebook. And then I went to Twitch. And then when I actually with Jeff, with DFH, basically, I said, you know what? I'm just going to go this route, and let's just see. And I haven't looked back. So I really appreciate all the support, all the followers, and that kind of case there. Yeah, it's a little hard to kind of push people that were all your friends. People are always kind of like, hey, when are you going to be on Facebook? Like, you want to listen to me? So either you download mixes Twitch. Or you go on Twitch. So that kind of case there. So, and it's really cool, like how just people absorb it. And I think more and more now is, especially here, we live in Chicago, as the winter comes, people are more and more, there's going to be so much online traffic. I mean, it's so funny how you can go every day. There's always someone on. Especially weekends, it's like Friday night, Saturday night. I call it Twitch hopping or twapping,
Right.
all these different kind of Twitch streams.
Twapping.
The new term.
Twapping, yeah. I mean, you can go. It's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's cool. It's like, hey, you want house music? Go to Baja Social on Friday. You want Freaky Fridays? Go to that. You want a Saturday? DFH got an awesome, the whole festival, and just people like they comment and like it's so cool how it doesn't matter where you are in the world, it's just cool you find and meet people. It's like all these people at DFH are like I haven't even met, but like they're like family. They're it's like and it's so much fun, and Total Encore is perfect. You're like Tatiana's cool. We give her crap because she's a Green Bay Packers fan, but she loves it. But it's so much. People come to the streams because they want to have fun.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about this Twitch thing, and it's just gonna
and to smile.
It's just it makes you smile. I mean, I like the fact that I can just play music and play what I want, and it makes someone's day. Hey man, I had a crappy day at work, but just listening to music, I'm just chilling out and vibe. This is so helpful. That kind of case.
I mean, I look forward to Mondays now because of this.
Yeah.
Who looks forward to a Monday, right?
Monday.
Yeah, I mean, it's like your whole week is on Twitch. You got something every day now. In the case there, so it's cool how this whole platform is just exploded, and I think that's just a cool thing, and just being part of it. It's just awesome. So even the DJs that are, even P3, like this is Raph. She started cooking from home. It's not even music related, but people,
you know why though?
Why?
Because Jeff wouldn't let me have a spot.
Hey,
I'm like,
Sam, if you want a spot, Freaky Fridays is an unsanctioned DFH
no,
night.
I'm not gonna taint it.
I knew it. I knew it. I saw the disdain on her face before she said it. She said, "You know why though?"
No, because the first week, me, Jeff knows all the girls were like, "Yeah, we can show us our skills," and then he's like, "You didn't even respond." We're just like, "All right, we gotta do our own thing."
You know why though? Because Jeff didn't give me a spot.
So talk about unsanctioned. So Artie, I will either wear a vest or a sando on Freaky Fridays when you give me a spot. I'll do it.
Sando.
There you go.
You didn't even have to offer that. You just had to ask.
Sando vest combo.
Sando Saturday.
Yeah. So Alvin was saying you guys live close to each other. This is an awesome community. So I mean, within this group right now, we all live in the Chicagoland area.
Yep.
However, we have not met each other in person. I will say, just like being on this stream with Vergil and Vince, I feel like it's a normal conversation because I feel like I know them through all the streams I've attended. So when I saw them in our 15 minutes prior to, I was like, oh, hey guys.
What?
So it's just so weird.
I think I have something special here. Am I the only one that's met everybody in this?
Yes.
Show?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Because I've met Vergil and Vince, and obviously, I've met the three.
Yeah, I don't think Sam and I have met.
No, I've never met Artie.
Hey, Artie, really quick, put up that picture from the drink.
Yeah, put the picture from the drink.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is all of us hanging out at the drink.
Yeah, we met up right at.
This was when Jeff Fernandez was in town.
When Total Encore was in town.
So to answer one of your questions, Elvin, Total Encore Jeff Fernandez lives in Colorado, and he came in because he has family here. So this is all of us. We met up at the drink.
Yeah. So left to right, that's Calvin Cornell. That's Urge, Vergil, Jeff. Right behind Jeff is Kevin Vance. No class. Lombard guy.
No class. DJ
Lombard guy.
Yeah, that's Lombard guy. He's really tall.
What state is this in?
This was in June.
At the Drink nightclub.
The Drink in Schaumburg. Yeah.
In Schaumburg.
Oh, this is a place in Illinois. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did not know this.
And then Mike's there and myself. So then that was the first time. That's the first time I met Mike, and first time I met Kevin. Jeff I known for a while, and first time I met Calvin. I heard so much about it, and I talked to Calvin, but never met him until that night.
Yeah.
So it's cool how this actually brought us together. Case and it's a funny thing. It doesn't even matter with DFH. Just the pandemic thing just brought people. I've been talking to my friends. I haven't talked in a long time.
When was this picture?
This is the beginning of the of
March.
Home.
This is about June. This is about June or July.
June. Yeah. Beginning of June is when
this is the second. This is the second local meetup.
Oh, we can hang out.
So I didn't know.
Invited. I was not invited.
This was before the DFH fam Discord.
This is before DFH.
Yeah. This is before Discord. We're doing this off Facebook Messenger.
Facebook, Messenger.
Yeah, we're on Facebook Messenger doing this. Yeah.
And then when I came to this, the only person I had known and met before is Ryan.
Well,
so
we've met. What are you talking about?
No.
You're talking about in this group.
You weren't
this group. I wasn't in the first one.
This was the second one because Artie was in the first one.
Yeah, I was in the first one.
Yeah.
Bring up the first one. Is that possible?
Wait, this was S. Vance's birth. This was S. Vance's birthday.
Was S. Vance's birthday.
This was Bethany's birthday.
Yeah, that's right. This was July.
So that's right. This was end of July. I remember now. Yeah, S. Vance's birthday is end of July because mine was mid-July.
Yeah. And the funny thing about this is we heard that Calvin Cornell, the franchise, was coming out. We're like, no way.
Ooh,
oh my god.
Pink shorts and all.
We saw the franchise in flesh in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Calvino was there.
A lot of these DFH DJs, Alvin, we've known of each other. We've just never actually met each other in person because we're all busy DJing, and we just don't have we never had the opportunity to actually have the time to talk, to collaborate, and to actually meet up. So
yeah, unless we had a nightlife gig together when we were all working in
Right.
nightlife at some point. I mean, that was really the only opportunity we've had to like really cross paths.
Right.
I mean, you know, some of us are closer. Like we have a working relationship with Remix, and we know a lot of them personally. So, but outside of that, like, yeah, we never really have seen anyone.
Yeah, we'd all have our own groups. Like my group was Remix, so like it'd be out of the DFH family, like it'd be myself, it would be DJ Elusive that's in here, and you saw like DJ Noise this past Saturday. We're part of Remix, and then you got X-Fade, which is Jeff, Mike, and then like Charlie, Jason,
Charlie Boy, Jason Y, DJ Mukbang.
Yep.
And we got VS1 events, here in the back.
There you go.
The emerging of VS1. But I mean, Sam and Riff and Justine, I mean, they're actually our best friends from high school, so we go way back too.
Yeah. So if you need a photographer, Sam, or you need a reference for a photographer.
Wait, Vergil, can you just train me? Where do you live? Where do you live, though? What kind of cameras do I need?
What is it, Jeff Mobby? You said there's gonna be like a DJ festival at Mike Rocca's wedding. Like every DJ gets
every
down.
DJ gets
no, that's like in 2022. It's so far away.
25 minutes apiece.
I'll take it.
I'll
take that. I'll take that slot. Me too. It takes 8 months, right?
What's really cool about the wedding industry is that everybody you scratch your back, I scratch your back. In the case of now I met Mike and Jeff. I mean, I have now other sources I can go to if I can't do something. I can reach out to these guys. Before like I didn't. This community is kind of just what's cool is everyone's merged together. It doesn't matter what your egos are. It's just a cool thing that we're all collaborating together. And now that in more networking, networking is going to make everyone better. Yeah,
it just makes
better.
Yeah, we're one company.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about. I forgot what chat. If we all combine like our equipment together, it'd be like a mega festival, or like
we take Lollapalooza out.
Okay, wait, time out.
EDC
what
out.
Is like the most pristine equipment to have to date? Like all those things, mixers,
like the bells and whistles.
Yeah, all the what is it called? Like
it's all preference now.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty much the same.
So, Artie, let me show a picture and then you can understand, Sam. There is a one where the point of view with the fluorescent, the blue uplighting, or the teal, I think it was. You see like the point of view, or the pink, the fuchsia one. Either one you can do. You can show that.
See this one?
Yeah, that's right. So this is one of the weddings I did. I did everything here. So did the DJ, the MC, the uplighting, the monogram. So basically, this is at the Intercontinental, or I think it's called Lowe's now. So basically, this is a wedding I did. So basically, I did everything, the whole package. So, but what you're doing is you're for a wedding. You're selling the experience. You're selling the moment.
Yeah.
That's the case there. So there's another one. So this one was same hotel, different room. I didn't do the uplighting because that was the company, but I did everything else like the monogram, the awesome sound system. We actually had the line arrays. I rented KLA's, the line array system. I mean, this thing was booming. In the case there was a 500 person wedding. And then the cool thing about this, across the room, they actually had an after hours party. So the wedding went from like 6 to 12. And then you walk across the room and it was like from 12 to 2:30. So right across the room, it was basically like a club.
Did you guys DJ that too?
What's that?
Did you DJ that party too?
Yeah, I did the after. So I couldn't do it. So I had my friend Chris Samira, DJ Christ. He did it. So he I had my other set of equipment. He set up in the room. All he had to do was just come in there right before 12, plug in, and he did that. So I broke down that stuff with my brother and my cousin, and then we went to the next room, stayed there, hung out, and broke that down. So the case there. But I mean, these people, they went all out. It was a Filipino Vietnamese wedding. I mean, it was like it was literally a club, nonstop.
That sounds awesome.
So you can't see the lighting's there, but like even next door, we put lighting in there too. I mean, it literally, the hotel was complaining the guests were going all night because of, I mean, they're telling me like the caterer, whatever, the director like came down and she texted me, he's like, don't worry about the music, but the people from the highest or whatever, like middle of the hotel could hear the music that loud.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, and you know how many floors are on the Lowe's?
Yeah, that's a big hotel.
Yeah, this was in the I forgot the Casat. I think it was the Casat room. Then the other side.
Only 500 people.
Yeah, only 5
Only?
people, Jax.
That's it.
What's up,
That's
Jack?
it.
And the funny, and they actually
Unimpressed.
they could have invited more, but because I mean this was 2018, I did this wedding. I mean, I don't even want to know how much they spent.
I mean, at this hotel, you're
Yeah.
talking probably about $100 a head.
No,
more than that.
More,
than that.
maybe
Yeah.
125, 130. Well,
Yeah.
plus open bar
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all of this stuff.
I'm
probably about
thinking
150.
probably like this would probably be at least maybe one, because it's O'Hare, it's maybe 175, 200. If this was
per
downtown,
head,
yeah, per
times
head.
500.
Yeah, if this was
Jeez.
downtown, that would be double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
easily.
I mean, like when I got married back in 2004, and we had our wedding at the Crystal Ballroom at the Hyatt downtown. And at that time, it was like we had 325 people at our wedding. That was $100 a head at that time. You know, that's 16 years ago. Imagine if you had 325 people at a hotel downtown. I mean, you're probably like 350, 400 a pop.
Oh, Elvin needs an explanation of downtown. So downtown Chicago to us is next to the lake, into the middle of the city.
It's a city with the tall
Yeah.
buildings.
The skyscrapers.
Skyscrapers.
Well, he doesn't
downtown.
live.
Yeah,
in,
so
in,
here
he doesn't live in like
Sears
a
Tower.
forest.
Yeah, so Alvin, so last week you were having the Chicago Q&A, and you saw like the skyscrapers, like the Sears Tower and all that. That area is downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
O'Hare
it's like down
is
like London, uptown.
Yeah.
Is it uptown London? What is it? What is it called?
oh, that I'm
Like
not exactly sure.
The city of London, just L&D. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
Like
yeah,
London,
that-
I think it's kind of, there's the downtown area, like by the Thames River, but then there's different areas we go north or west or south or east. So like
yeah, central
downtown
London. That's it.
Yeah, downtown
Central
would
London,
be like
yeah.
central London. Yes,
Yeah, central
like
London.
where like you know the eye is, you know, Parliament, Big Ben. That's kind of like equivalent to downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's
And Chicago's interesting because it's really frigging big, but it's two cities: South Side Chicago and
huge.
North Side.
yeah,
North Side Chicago and South Side Chicago are two different cities, technically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then when we say O'Hare is the airport, like the main airport of Chicago. Chicago has two big airports, but O'Hare's the main international airport, and that area alone has a bunch of hotels and convention centers in that area where a lot of the weddings happen.
Alvin, just
Yeah.
come here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
Alvin,
come here,
yeah,
Alvin.
just
We'll
come here,
bring you
Alvin.
down. We'll bring you to Westmont.
Yeah.
We'll bring it to
The lawnmower in real
we'll bring
life.
it to Englewood.
Get you
We'll bring
a
it to Englewood.
lawnmower.
You a
Vince,
lawnmower.
we'll show you what a lawnmower really is.
Yeah.
You can mow our lawns.
Yeah, so going back to like the capacity of weddings, I mean, like, you know, like I guess if you're a Filipino DJ, you know, the size of a wedding is no big deal anymore because Filipino weddings are just big as it is. So when I get a client, let's say like it's an American wedding, and you know, I get the form, you know, they fill it out, you know, weddings from 6 to 12, you know, how many guests you fill out there, like 150 people, like. That's nothing. Yeah, it's like you go a Filipino wedding. It's always gonna be like a big wedding. You know, it's just how we are. You know, just the culture and all that. So, and it's the funny thing too. But so going back to circle back, Artie, if you can show, I wanted to see how we all network. You can show the picture of Andy and Michelle. I just wanted to point them out.
Misha?
really quick. Yeah, Misha Media. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just on there.
We're on Michelle's podcast.
So I'll put a plug in for you guys right now about this as well.
Let's see which picture.
What is Raph eating?
Yeah, what are you eating?
Montana.
Sausage.
We didn't eat since breakfast, so I'm starving. And we checked in at 5:30 Mountain Time. Wait.
Okay. Yeah. So this is me with my brother Vernon. This is this is from Erwin Delphin's wedding. I don't know if you know Erwin. They shoot with Andy and Michelle. Misha
Oh
Media.
yeah.
So I did Erwin and I can't think of his she's gonna shoot me when I can't think of her name right now. But I did Erwin's wedding was at the Columbia College downtown. So they rented out the library. I forgot the name of it. So Andy and Michelle did it. So Andy and Michelle are the owners of Misha Media, so they shot RS3's wedding.
Oh, Misha Media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Media.
and I didn't
Andy
know.
Rivera was in that one of the early pictures with Vergil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Andy, a small story about Andy. So he grew up down the street in Northbrook from us. So we known the Riveras for a long time. In the case, so Andy and I know each other since kindergarten. We used to go to kindergarten through grade school, high school. So I've known him for a long time. And then his wife Michelle, I met when they were dating. I actually emceed Andy and Michelle's wedding. Tony Cabrera DJ'd the wedding. He did it with Caesar at that time. Yeah, Rabalon. So okay, so I know that. So Misha Vita, we work with them all the time, just like Jeff and Mike and Artie. We all intertwine. And the cool thing is that and you guys, everyone knows how everyone works. So it's so cool.
Mhm.
When like I always ask, like, who's your photographer, and they're like, oh yeah, it's Misha Vita. Like, oh cool, Andy Michelle, tell her say hi. So it's really cool. So when vendors get together, it's like it's clockwork. It's so easy because how they do it and they know how you do it. So it's really cool. So props out to them. And I just want to put a shout out to Michelle and Andy. Michelle is an active runner and a marathon runner.
Triathlete, marathon runner. Yeah.
She just started a Twitch channel called Active Endeavors. I'm not sure if they're
Oh, they are on Twitch.
They're on Twitch.
They're on Twitch, yeah.
Okay.
I was one of her first followers. So I think it was like follower
That's
one
cool.
or two.
I like that.
So I forgot when she does it. I think it's Thursday night, so I can find out. But she'll plug a plug.
Are they in here right now in the chat?
I don't know. They're in there. But
well, shout out to them. So
shout out to them. But in any case, there. So it's cool how like we all and then like Vergil and I we work together. If you can, Artie, you can show the picture of the four of us four brothers.
Yep.
Aww. And your favorites being the both of you.
Yeah. So this is at our cousin's wedding. Junalise Marcigan. She's the sales coordinator at Loft 21 up in Lincolnshire. She used to be at downtown at room 1520. I think it was the name of the place. But we did her wedding, so this is us four. So Vergil actually shot the wedding, and then I DJ'd the wedding. And the funny thing is that wedding, she actually asked us up front when they got engaged, like, "Hey, Kuya, you can decide what you want to do. You want to be a guest at my wedding and have fun, or do you want to DJ the wedding?" And same with Vergil, do you want to shoot the wedding? So obviously, I'm like, man, I want to DJ the wedding. I'm gonna have so much more fun because I know I'm the one that's doing it. That kind of case there.
Exactly.
And same thing with you, Artie, or Jeff, or Mike.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
No. I wanted to do it, and actually, this was one of the weddings that got featured on Chicago Weddings.
Yeah. So this wedding, this is only, but this was done at the Adler Planetarium.
Yeah.
So
this was an awesome wedding.
Yeah. So if you ever go to the Adler Planetarium, normally during the daytime, the cafeteria, it's all the windows outside. You look. You would never think a wedding could be in there. And then if I had a picture, I would have shown.
I actually have a picture. I think I have one.
But you have a picture from her
wedding. From her wedding, Artie.
Yeah, so that's Vernon. That's Vernon and Vic, and then that's obviously us too. So that's us four. So we actually use this for our siblings picture every year.
Highlight Jaybray. Highlight Jaybray.
Highlight Jaybray.
Yeah, highlight Jaybray.
This one.
So poggy.
Which picture, Vergil?
It should be one of the. I think it's a wedding, Chicago wedding, and it had 3 pictures in it.
Oh, okay, got it. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, so that's Adler Planetarium at night.
Yeah, so I mean, she's a event coordinator, so she
that's cool.
Planned her own wedding, and in this case, so everything there was she basically planned her own wedding. I mean, literally, it's like she was her own wedding coordinator. So I know I saw her name Charlene's in there, Artie, your sister, so she'd agree. Like, I've actually met brides that actually became wedding coordinators because of the fact they love planning weddings so much. So it all goes back to if you ever watch Jennifer Lopez and Wedding Planner, everyone thinks like it's such a cool job and all that. And then you see the reality behind the story on the case there. But I mean, when she told us she was getting married, I'm like, no, I want to do your wedding. And it was so much fun. And just the fact that it was in the winter, but still, it didn't matter. It was just so much fun there in that case. So if you ever go to a wedding at the planetarium, it's so cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yep. Okay, so yep. But yeah, no, I mean, just it's something I just fell into. I never knew I was gonna do this at all. Literally, even when we first started, no one ever taught us anything. No way. You kind of just went with the flow, and just kept going. And people, and I just started liking it more and more and more. And you got I mean, people always ask once in a while, do you ever get burned
Roast.
out? And, like I would say, you know what? At times, yeah. So what the cool thing about
Thanks,
being
Alvin.
single operator was is that I could pick and choose when I wanted to DJ, which is really cool. In case there's cheers. And then the nightclub thing for me was kind of like Vergil. So and shouts out for I think I got started was it goes in with Vergil's outside of what we did on our own. Our cousin Lyle Del Mundo, he's our cousin from our Lolas.
Yeah.
So his Lola, Lyle's Lola, and our Lola were like I think distant cousins for the same province in the Philippines. So he actually
Shout out, I am the world.
yeah, I am the world.
I am the world.
If he's in here, but he started Dynasty Entertainment. So Dynasty was kind of like one of the first company, just like Gene Singh with Vic Malesio back in the 90s, and he started. He would go to different nightclubs and have different promotions, and then he would get us Dave
D
DeMond,
double, yeah.
Double. Urge was on there too, and a couple different DJs. So we go like different clubs, and he would rent out the place, throw a party on that night, and then it kind of evolved with that. So all these different clubs. Raph, what are you eating? It's like you're
You should have told us to bring food too.
Sorry, I'm on mute because I haven't eaten since breakfast.
So I think the highlight of probably from my nightclubs thing was probably the early 2000s when Lyle started doing Dragonfly, the original Dragonfly on Division Street. So I don't know if you guys ever went to Dragonfly. So
yeah,
he started
I
promoting.
did. They got like sushi.
Damien.
Yeah, David. So he was the manager there. But yeah, that's where I started kind of the club thing, and I think I met Voltaire used to DJ there once in a while when Dave couldn't mix, and then Eric Sia, who was DJ Bam Bam, he was there too. So I don't know if you remember.
Oh,
Bam Bam.
yeah.
Usually did the hard house, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eric. Yeah,
Yep.
Eric. He actually lives, I think, in Mundelein by me. I think he's still living here. But yeah, that's kind of how I started. So, Damien, I guess he liked me. So I did a residency at Dragonfly for like 3 years, and then I met Christian Kid Chris there. In the case, that's when he started, and I met Edwin NV Prophecy from Dragonfly. I met Knock Lee, John, guys from Lunchbox. I met them. That's all I met. Their case, and then I met all those guys. So I used to do that Friday night, and then Saturday night I would do weddings. And then there was sometimes even too like I would sub for my brother. So in the case there, and then after Dragonfly, I did that till I got married, and maybe a year after that, I did that residency. I would go different places. So I hooked up with Mark Centennial and John Curley. So they got me into Soundbar. So I don't know if you heard John Curley the name. So John Curley got me into Soundbar. So I used to DJ there once in a while downstairs in the hip hop room. So because of Dragonfly, I haven't done it yet, but I actually can play hip hop. I actually learned to play hip hop, and I was a house DJ. So I learned to play hip hop because that's what they wanted at Dragonfly. So I was brought in, just played my regular stuff, but then I had to learn to play hip hop. So that's kind of how I learned. And I just be listening to like what like Voltaire and Dave would play, and Eric Sia and whoever was there at Dragonfly, and just learned from that, and then kind of took that and picked it up and brought it to different places. So not only did and it's pretty cool as a DJ, I always say, what would make you successful? I always just tell them, just learn to play with all different types of music, because that just makes you more versatile. So that way you can go and you could be an open format DJ. You can go anywhere. So I can do a wedding, I can do a club, I can do a private event, all that. So that just makes you, if you want to do that. Now there are some DJs that just want to strictly be, I want to do that certain niche, certain music. But if you want to do that certain niche, then you got to really work on that to expose your brand on that. And Twitch can, that's the cool thing about Twitch. You can just expose your brand to anything, in that case. So, it's really cool. Like people, you guys all agree. There are people listening from like all these countries. Like I have people from the Philippines listening all the time now, because they like that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. So what do you think about the nightclub stuff? So I had one really funny story was, so throughout the years when I would do weddings, I would actually close out a club after. So I would do the wedding till 12. I make my younger brothers pack up, and I have to get to the club by like 1:30 and close from like 1:30 to 5. So I used to do it like a Transit Soundbar.
I think we met at a club. I DJ'd, and then you closed it out right after me.
Yeah,
And I want to say it was. I want to say I'm thinking it was Excalibur.
yeah, it could have been.
That
I
we
think it was
DJ'd at.
one of I think it was Asian Elements, one of Gary's events.
Yeah, yeah,
So in
yeah.
that case, there. So yeah, and I used to do that, and just like our Virgil, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do both. So I just said, I stopped the club thing. I retired actually in the clubs in 2010. So the last club gig I did was where Albert was at in Urge at what's that, V Live. That was like the
Be
last place I DJ'd back in
I
2000.
loved V Live.
Yeah, V Live was cool. There were so
Yeah.
many rooms in that place. I don't know if you ever
Yeah.
guys. That was an awesome place. But
Yep.
so I stopped that. But the funny thing is, I had a really quick story about the DJ. I mean, this is kind of like the trials and tribulations of DJ. So there was one night, I think it was back when my oldest son Colin was born, and he was born in June, and I think it was like the next month. I was DJing at Transit, Barry Patter's club, and I closed out the night. I was in the main room at that time, and I get a text from or a call from my wife. It's like I just got there, and like literally like probably half an hour later at 2 a.m., she keeps calling me. I'm like, fuck, why are you calling? I answered the call while I was DJing. I'm like, what? She's like, Colin's sick. He has a really high temperature, and bear in mind, he was like a month old. So I'm like, well, I can't do anything right now. So I just told her, just call the doctor and tell her what to do. So she called, gave him like the medicine. But the funny thing is, like, all right, I'm on the way home. So she gets home, is like, we have to go to the doctor right now. I'm like, you're kidding me. I left at the club, got paid at 5 a.m. I didn't get home till 5:45, and then we had to go to the ER. So I had to wait in the ER for like an hour till he was finally admitted, and then they checked him out. He had God, I can't do it. He had a ear infection.
Ear infection.
Yeah. So this was like 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and I've been up since like that. I remember that day because that morning before I had the wedding, I played 18 holes in the morning, Mike. So I played 18 holes in the morning. I went home to lunch, packed up the stuff, went to the wedding, did the wedding, then went to the club that morning, and then I haven't slept. It's 8 a.m. We finally get admitted, and then finally 9 o'clock, the doctor's like, okay, do this. Here's the beds. Go to Walgreens, all that. And then, so of course she hasn't slept, so she slept. And I had to set, and I was like, and I had to stay up because of him. So I literally did not sleep that weekend until probably like Sunday night, like at 11 or 12 o'clock. And
Wow.
At that time, that's the only time I actually drank Red Bull. Was when at that time I used to DJ in the clubs. So I had Red Bull straight. So it's like literally when I used to go to Sam's Club, I literally buy cases and cases and cases of Red Bull because that's what keep me up to DJ at night. So I don't know how you guys did it, but that's my secret. It was strictly straight up Red Bull. So I'll always remember that, like the horrifying DJ story that I could not believe that I did that, and I had to do it. As a parent, it's something you had to do.
Yeah. So Vergil, after you retired 2007, you did your photography stuff, you got into that. Vince starts doing Twitch first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he try to convince you to come on to Twitch, or did you say, hey, that's awesome, what are you doing? How do I do this?
Actually, yeah, it was Vince and Jeff Fernandez that both got me on Twitch. So I was on Facebook.
Was it Twitch or Facebook?
I was on Facebook first.
Facebook first.
So I started probably, I want to say 3 weeks after Vince started on Facebook, and then started streaming on Facebook and getting cut off. And that's when he told me, because Jeff had told Vince, like, hey, go to Twitch, because Dance from Home was already broadcasting at the time. And I didn't know about Dance from Home yet until my brother was actually on it. And then that's when I tuned in, like, oh, so this is what that Twitch thing's about. And that's when I started streaming on Twitch as well. And then Jeff jumped on, and that's how I got on Dance from Home.
Yeah. So in that case, how we got connected was obviously, Jeff, I didn't know this, Lorraine forwarded it to you, but it was from Jeff Fernandez. So Jeff and I, side story, we actually met officially. We knew each other, but we officially met, and this is a funny thing, behind Drury Lane loading equipment up. He had a gig right next to me.
Oh, nice.
We knew of each other. We knew of each other, but we didn't know, because Joe told me, like, hey, I got this Filipino guy working for my company. And his name was Jeff Fernandez. So I was like, oh, I sort of like, oh, maybe I know this guy. So yeah, we talked about it, but ever since then, we kind of connected. And then once he moved to Colorado, we actually talked more. So,
okay.
Then when the Twitch thing started, he told me, "Hey, I'm going to be at this Dance for Home. Check it out." So I did. So I went in there and and then we started talking. And then I think that's where, and I didn't know this was Lorraine at that time. And I bet they're like, "Yeah, you got to get him on the stream. He plays new wave." So in that case, I was like, "All right, fine. Okay, so we'll do that." So that's how we got started. So I appreciate it in case that. But really quick, so we can get this. I wanted to talk about Sad New Wave Club because we wanted to tell the story of how this actually started.
Yes.
So for those who don't know, so Sad New Wave Club, basically, I do New Wave Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Central. So basically, it's all straight up New Wave. But I wanted to tell the story of how this started because it's kind of a funny thing. So I'll have Vergil do it. It's really Ovid and
it actually was after Dance from Home on a Saturday night, and it was Calvin was closing the night out, and I think he was doing a shot every 10 minutes,
Every sub or something.
or every sub or something like that. Yeah, and he had polished off a bottle of Jameson cold brew in like less than an hour. I want to say it was like
A full bottle.
a full bottle, and he was just completely trashed. And Total Encore was moderating at the time.
He's like, every kid was insane.
And all I remember at the end is him and Uncle German, his cousin, had ordered a pizza, and they were freaking eating pizza at the end of his stream. And Total Encore is like, if he needs someone to raid to, I'm gonna go on. And this is at like 12:30 at night or something.
Yeah, Abed and I were driving home from the city.
Yeah. And so he's like, all right, we're going to pass it on to Total Encore. I was, to be honest, shocked that Calvin got the raid off.
We were wondering too.
Little Beer's like, Calvin Cornell passed the baton to Total Encore and didn't know it.
Yeah, he didn't even know that he had passed it on. So Jeff Fernandez, Total Encore, went on and started and took over from there. So about an hour into his stream, this is at like 1:30 or 2 in the morning. I forgot how it ended, but we ended up asking for New Wave, and Dave and D Double was on as well. So we're like all jamming to the New Wave. Freaking D Double was dancing and singing along to it, and we're like, God, this stuff is so emo. And this is, with me, Little Berries. Little Berries was on there. Abed was on there, and we're like just partying, getting drunk, and like singing to New Wave. And we're like, this is so sad. Hence, we ended up keying the phrase "Sad New Wave." So my brother Vince wasn't even on here, but the reason he came up is Total Encore is like, I got to do an homage to Vince. So he was playing all the New Wave as much as he could, and then that's basically how it started.
Sad New Wave Club started on Jeff Fernandez's stream.
On Jeff Fernandez's,
yeah.
And I think it also too is because there's some songs that Jeff didn't have, and I think Dave D'Amato he was asking for Train to Nowhere.
Yeah.
So and Jeff's like, I don't have it. So then the next Sunday night we did House Night Soulful Sundays. They were chatting in there, and then all of a sudden like, okay, fine. Vergil went back on and played New Wave tonight. So, so after that, I'm like, I was like, hey, no fair, guys. You're playing this. I want to do mine. So I'm like, all right, next Tuesday. That Tuesday, I did it, and it just started. And we just branded it, Sad New Wave Club. So that's kind of how it started. So every Tuesday now is, you play those tunes.
Yeah. Abed sent me a detail. She said, we collectively agreed it was sad, and then Total Encore played Bad Boys Blues, Save Your Love. And we all started dropping crying emotes and saying that we were sad. And then we dubbed it Sad New Wave Club. History was made. D Double was dancing in front of his TV, singing along to Jeff's New Wave set per tin. And she thinks it's also the night that Jack Sway popped in, and that's when we asked him to be part of DFH too.
Yeah,
that's right. That is
awesome.
So Jack's here, yes. Yeah, so
shout out to Jack Sway.
So the funny thing about Jack Sway, he's the man. So how we found him, the really side story, is from Calvin. It's all Calvin's fault. We found Jack's. So Calvin told Jeff Fernandez, like, hey, check out Jack Sway. So we're in there one Saturday night. Late night, it was like me, Vergil, Jeff, Kevin Vance. I forgot.
That's Vance.
And we were watching Jack Sway stream, and we were like mesmerized. We're like,
and I think his stream was only supposed to be 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And he ended up DJing until 2 in the morning.
Because we're all on there. Like,
we're all on there. Just like,
keep going.
keep going. Yeah.
So that's the funny thing is that. So that's kind of how that started. So now I've branded into Sad New Wave Club. There's an emote now for that too. Thanks to Albert, DJ Elusive, created an emote. Appreciate you, brother, for that. So it's just a fun thing. So that's kind of how we branded. So that's Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central. We do that.
Yeah, throw up those Sad New Wave Club emotes.
Yeah, there it is.
So funny.
Oh man.
How did we get here?
How did we get here? So okay, but yeah, no, I mean it's really cool how this Dance for Home thing, how it started. In a case, it's so cool how you can listen to different types of music, different DJs, every weekend, and more power to it. I mean, it just gets more popular and popular. Mike and I were just talking about that yesterday. We were golfing, so we were talking about Artie's stream when Von Kiss rated her.
Yeah,
Artie, and this is Wednesday night nightcap. I mean, Barry Maya is what, 7:15, right, Artie?
Yeah.
yeah. Vince, we're like,
Yeah,
Vince is
7
like, he must have just like shit his pants.
I'm like, Artie,
he did. He said, "Oh shit!"
Are you in your? And if it was me and I got rated in like 150 people, I'd be like, "Whoa, what just happened?"
Well, here's what's funny about that too is that I logged in literally maybe 10 minutes after the raid, so I didn't really know what was going on. I just knew there were 150 people on your stream on Wednesday, and I was like, "What's going on?" And you were playing
Hard.
Saturday night
hard.
music. You were playing Saturday music.
You
Right.
you threw your nightcap crate out the window.
Yeah,
did.
yeah. And then
did.
and
I literally
Perry
did.
and I,
Yeah.
Perry and I got home at that moment, and we turned you on my TV, and we're like, "Why is he going so hard? Why are there 150 people in the stream? What the fuck's going on right now?" Right? And then I think I texted Jeff. Maybe it was Jeff that I asked. I was like, "What's going on right now? Like, what happened?" And he told me, you got raided by whatever. And then and yeah, Vince was saying, when he got that, he must have just been like, "Oh my god, what's going on?"
I mean, like the closest feeling for anyone to be able to relate to is just being caught in the public with your pants down. That's exactly how I felt at that time.
I literally so after Artie was done, and I think he was still in the chat. I think I said, "I'm like, dude, are you okay? Did you realize this what happened?"
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I said "oh shit" out loud, and Jason was like,
"Oh shit,
that's right, oh shit." That's exactly what happened. And, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah,
but you did what DJs do. You adapt, right? Like, something different happens, and you realize you need to pull out all the stops right now, right? Like somebody walked in the room that you need to show you can DJ, or 100 people just walked into the club that you didn't think were going to be there, right? Same situation. Set. You needed to turn it on. It turned from Wednesday night nightcap from a chill session to like, let's go. Shake weight was out. The shake weight was going. I was like, he's pulling out the stops.
But then I look back at it. And first of all, shout out to DJ Showtime, because he coordinated that like from the beginning, from that morning.
He knew he was going to do that,
and he knew it was going to happen. And he just never gave me the heads up. And so I give him shit for that all the time. No heads up. But it'd be like, it's starting to happen now on a lot of our streams. On Friday, Calvin Cornell during Freaky Friday, DJ Remark out of nowhere raids over to Calvin Cornell with like over 90 people. So by that time, there was probably about 130, 140 people on that stream at that time. And then you could see Calvin's music started changing like right after that happened. Yeah, you know what's happening. You're like, you don't have to. Yeah, as a DJ, like DJs would know, or like regulars would know what you're going to be playing, right?
Yes.
You kind of know what to expect when you're on Twitch, and if you're a regular. And then when you see like something big that happens randomly, and the DJ was not expecting that, you can tell something's going to change in the music itself.
Yeah, I mean the bangers are going to come out, right? You're going to bring out the bangers
more and more.
It'll
banger after banger after banger.
So rap bangers are like the anthems, the club, the hits.
The songs
but
you know.
Like so
Yeah.
player so
Pound
in this-
bangers,
in
Pound
this
Town.
Pound
instance,
Town.
you're playing
What
new
was that,
wave.
Calvin? Taking the
What
pound
is
town?
Yeah.
you get rated 100? What is your move?
What is
I'll
your
Playing
move?
new wave.
if I was playing New Wave and I would run with it just to see like if people are still engaged. If I can see like
And I'm with you.
yeah, I'll keep playing it.
I'm
You
with
know,
that new wave.
I'll keep
Yeah.
on going until I feel like I think I need to make a change. But you know what? It's really funny. So now with this Twitch, and it took a while for me to kind of get it. It's like, you know, instead of DJing for the crowd right in front of you, you're DJing for people listening online. So I actually honestly think on Twitch you got to be even more creative than actually in real life, because I mean it's cool about you can do anything you want, but how do you get people engaged? How do you get people to stay in
It's
your
the
channel?
engagement. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's the
engaging
engagement.
your
So-
audience.
Well, yeah, it's also that because I mean, you could throw like the best DJ set, but if you don't have that proper like level of engagement, like it's just another DJ set. You know, like I'm gonna
Correct.
go on to
Yeah.
the next.
Yeah.
Like I think the engagement like really helps and like how
I
you
mean,
do it.
honestly, to me, there are some streams where you know I
It's
don't
harder.
feel like, it's harder. Like I don't feel like I was satisfied. There are some where I feel satisfied. It all depending, you know. In a case there, every DJ agree, or even if you're streaming like you know, Raph, when you're cooking, you're like, are people paying attention to me? They actually like. What
That's
I'm
when I
doing.
take a shot.
And then everybody's paying attention to me.
And I think that's really where probably the redemption starts. Artie, like you, like how do I get people engaged? I'm gonna do the shake weight, and Calvin, I'll do the twerk. You know, and
Yeah.
here's Jeff Bobby with body rolls unexpected. You know, so you talk about those. It's just cool things. You know, like the best. You know, like,
Shake
It is engagement. It's all engagement. And what's funny is like, and I think I saw it there. It's different, right? Like it's harder. So Calvin was saying
Pause.
it's harder. Pause.
Pause.
Right. It's like number
What?
one, and that's a good example. Is that number one, knowing the community, right? Like,
Yep.
as being a DJ, knowing what pause is in the Dance from Home community and when it comes up is important, because then you get to interact with when that happens, right? And that's like an inside joke for all of us. So, I mean, I agree with Calvin. It's harder, pause, to do something like that. And even, okay, so like us, we're all here doing this like verbal, we're talking, like we're interacting, and we're good in front of a camera. But sometimes when I'm DJing, I forget to talk to the channel. I forget to talk to my people in my chat, because we're used to being in the music, right? Like you're feeling the music, you're like getting into
you're
your
in the
next
zone.
song, you're in the zone. You have to stop and then pay attention to what's going on, to people saying things, and interact with them. And that's what's different. That's how Twitch differs.
No,
from
and
anything
that's
else.
the cool, and that's shout outs to mods. I mean, or Virgils or
Yes.
whatever mods.
Shout
It's
out
like,
to mods.
I mean, boss mods like Nikki and Ms.
Miss
Step Up.
JB,
So,
Step
like,
Up,
I do
It's
love
Montserrat,
that.
Tickle My Soul.
I mean, mods are there to basically to help you control the flow and to actually help. They're like your right hand. I mean, I think
Right.
everyone says, like Yoshi says it. Everyone says it. You know, without mods, you are not the DJ who you are. In that case, there. So shouts out to go to mods. So, and the cool thing about the mod, I mean, even with the mods, DJs, like you're setting up your own channel, you're setting up your own stream. You know, there's so much work to get ready to do it, and then you still got to do it too. So in that case, so it's just like, and that's a learning process for me. I didn't know how this stuff worked. So I'll learn. I mean, you go back to one of my first Facebook and be like dim lights. Just I had the two turntables, no lighting whatsoever, and I was working out. I told
I think all of our first streams were like
I was
terrible.
using my wife's iPad on
All
Facebook
of our
Live. I had a tripod. And that was it. And I didn't even have an iRig at that time. I was using I bought this cable from NLFX. It's a TRRS cable to RCA, and it was
At least you had that.
At least I had that, but still was okay. But you know, I did it. But it's just like you know, you learn from it. Just like anything you do, you learn from it.
I was on ambient sound when I started.
Yeah. What's funny is like, and Vince was saying it, he started to mention we were talking about it, right, when we were golfing, is because eventually when you start talking to other DJs that you've already known, or, you know, you hang out with normally, and they do Dance from Home, you'll get back to that conversation. Like, what are you using to stream your set? Like what
Yeah.
are you OBS itself? OBS
What's
Streamlabs?
OBS?
Right.
That's
Right?
what I said.
Like you start talking about
Yeah.
like what your stuff is. So I think it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. It's like it just brings a whole nother level of
So
conversation
I
between
think
DJs.
like for the listeners, I mean, I think it's and shouts out to you guys, the supporters. I mean, we're not who we are without you guys being in the channel. So I'll say it down my heart. I appreciate all the supporters, all the subscribers, all the followers.
Cheers.
Just
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Are you
Cheers,
cheersing
you
to
guys,
them?
man.
Prost.
Followers,
Prost to them.
subscribers.
Followers, so we're not where we're at. I mean, in that case, I mean, I just passed 400 the other day. So
Awesome.
Yo,
Artie,
congrats.
yeah, thanks. So Artie, you hit 500, and Calvin, Showtime we got 1,000 last week. Calvin, in that case, he got his milestone. So it's
Salute
it's
y'all.
it's a cool thing to do, and just I appreciate it. So from the bottom of my heart, and to me, this Twitch thing is just I had nothing else to do. I mean, this equipment right here, literally for probably ever since I moved in this house, even before in my old house, I didn't even set it up. I would just do my weddings in the weekends and never had time during the week because there was, I was busy doing stuff. When I moved to this house I'm at right now, I bought a DJ booth. I bought new turntables and put it here, but it would all collect dust.
Yeah.
Until finally,
So
in
you're
March,
playing with.
I'm like, I got nothing else to do, so I'm like,
Well,
all right, I'll do this.
Literally, I keep saying there's only 3. Is it 3? There's for sure 2 or 3. So 3 sets that I want to play on when I get a chance to, and it's Vergil's rotary mixer, it's Vince's setup, and it's Chuck Righteous's DJM
3000.
DJM 3000.
Like, dude, those are you guys. I'm coming to your houses like when we can. I'm gonna come over.
If you want to borrow mine, you can borrow mine. You're more than welcome to borrow mine.
No, I want to
Actually,
play
we still have ours in
specifically
the
on
garage.
Chuck Righteous's. Like, I just want to play specifically on his.
I was trying to help Chuck find a rotary kit for DJM 3000, but no luck, my friend brother.
No luck. Yeah.
No one in the world. So, side story, a rotary kit. So for DJs, basically a rotary kit. It's instead of transitioning with a knob where you slide it back and forth, and I have it on my overhead cam. You actually turn the dial, kind of like a volume on like a player. So when you turn it, it actually helps you.
Can I do a pause on Sam's actual motion?
I feel like this is what you're doing though. When you're like, no, I'm doing what you're doing
She kept
in
going.
real life. So you're like you're turning the dial and then you're pressing pause and then
So with this rotary, is basically it's house DJs involved with this, and this actually started back in the 70s in the disco era. So it's basically easier to transition songs. So when you see people say rotary, a DJ, you're like, ooh, like the eyes light up in the case there. So Mike, yes, when you have a chance,
I'm coming over and I'm going to
Come over.
Virgil's and Vince's.
So when I started streaming, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it straight up old school way, turntables, because that's the way I started and I learned that.
That's so dope.
That case there. So no offense, controllers are great, I like it. The case, but nothing beats being, on a pair of 12s, in that case there. I know Jeff.
those
I know you want to do
13s.
it. Bring out your 12s again. That case there, but it's.
I
fun.
did vinyl for one of my streams early.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, it was one of the early DFHs though. So
Yeah. So I think I told you to this Mike yesterday. I mean, as winter comes along, it's just, and I say, you guys, this is gonna be where people are gonna be at, after work.
oh yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
so-
more and more, and you can even see it now. Like the volume just is picking up. It's in the last couple of weeks or the last month. I mean, it's just honestly, it's so cool. Okay, so how this thing just exploded. I mean, too bad I didn't have a stock in Amazon at the time. In case there, I would just evolve.
Well, that's what people are gonna say about DFH, right? Is that too bad we didn't have the stock in DFH last year? And like that's what I'm saying. The community's evolving. Like we've got DFH, we have TFH, we've got TFH's box.
Yeah,
The box has become a thing. It's its own thing. The TFH box has literally become its own like entity and its own. And people are just out there leaving messages all the time.
and shout out to Little
Let's talk about
Berries.
the box.
Little Berries just started fitness from home too.
Yeah,
Fitness
and
from
I
home.
think we talked about this stream, dating from home, to be hosted by
Dating
Jason
from home.
Mike.
Jason is going to be
Jason
on.
Mike, yeah?
Actually, no,
Jason is the
he's going to
first
be a
contestant.
contestant.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
So
He's a
we need to
bachelor,
talk.
ladies. Don't.
We're gonna need to talk after
don't-
this.
Okay, yeah, we
Skip
need to
on
talk.
that.
This is
Um,
post. This
I
is
don't know what the
post show
words are.
conversation. Post show.
I have some. I have some ideas.
Post show
I have some
conversation.
ideas.
Jay
conversation.
Smith has left the chat room.
All right, from home.
Hey,
I have some
need,
ideas. I have some
No,
actually
James-
some really cool
Jay Smith
ideas.
is,
wait. We
Okay.
need
It's a
we need
call.
Jay Swank and Uncle Jerman. Uncle Jerman's gotta be on there.
Well, I mean, not just.
we got a bunch of contestants, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we got
Post
some
show.
people in
Post
mind.
show.
We got some
Post
people in mind, but we will talk about that a little bit later. But be on the lookout. There will be a dating from home
Date from home,
show.
yes.
There will be a dating from home show.
Maybe next
Uh,
week. Who knows?
It will happen. It'll happen. It's we're just gonna I mean, because we are in COVID, it's a little different right now. But
the same.
uh,
The little same.
but we will make it happen. I have ideas for this, so we will talk about that.
Date from
Um,
home. Date from home.
But let's talk about these boxes, right?
All right, talk-
Let's
TFH
all right,
box messages.
let's play some of these box messages here. I think this one right here is actually really
All
cool.
right, wait. Before we start the
Oh,
messages,
Yep.
Nikki, why don't you put that out there? If nobody knows what the TFH box messages is, basically it is a voicemail for TFH, and you can drop a line, what we call dropping a line, on the box, and we'll play it on Talk From Home eventually. Maybe it won't be that week, but it might be the week after. So
If it's
Make
not
sure-
too bust us.
yeah, if it's not too,
Yeah,
but we've
people.
gotten a couple that were too much. So
have
just
to be
keep in mind.
DFH sanctioned. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah, we can be
Legal
R-rated,
Yes.
but
It
not
doesn't have to be sanctioned.
NC-17.
Oh,
Doesn't have to be NC. Okay, that's fine.
If
Has
it's
to
too
be
bust
sanctioned.
us, we have to bring it to our OnlyFans.
It has. If it's too bust us, it goes on Freaky Fridays. It doesn't belong on.
I
Dance
learned
From
what
Home.
OnlyFans is, guys.
Eccentric.
hey,
Shy
You heard
show
from
on
the director. You heard from the director.
Yo,
Just saying.
we
Okay, box messages.
Go.
Let's see.
Go box.
Can you guys hear this?
What up, guys? What up, DFH? This is DJ Yo Jimbo. Just giving you
Jimbo.
you guys a little shout out, just saying what up. So you guys are doing a fantastic job. This is the first time I've ever been on the talk part of the show. I think it's really great. So great job, guys. Great job, right? So talk to you later. Peace.
Shout out
Thank
to
you,
DJ
Yo
Yo Jimbo.
We're gonna get you on Dance From Home though.
He's gonna
I
be. I hear he's gonna be streaming soon.
Okay, good. I can't
Very
wait for that.
excited for that.
I'm excited.
Let's hear this one.
Sino, who's
Yo, it's Jay Swain, DFH. We got a birthday hotline. What's up? Let's go. And who's this on the birthday line?
It's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, what's your zodiac sign?
It's Libra.
What is the day your birthday?
Yes, it is. You know it is.
How old are you on this day?
I'm 34.
Okay.
It's your birthday. Go Kevin. It's your birthday.
Kevin, where you from? Bowling Brook. Where you from?
Rolling Brook.
Bad boys that say bye-bye. Happy birthday from the GCI. Get it.
Yeah,
so
that was
interesting.
so
I was
dope.
holding my breath the whole time. Oh,
That
wow.
brought me back to GCI right there.
I'm happy about it.
All right, so these I have not heard.
Oh.
This is going to be
These
a
are
surprise.
brand new. These are brand new.
I don't know if they're
Um,
bust us or not. I didn't get a chance to.
Okay.
We
read
can screen them.
So
No screen.
fair warning.
What do you?
All right. If it starts getting bust us, just cut it.
Just pause
Okay.
it.
If you think it's gonna get us banned, just cut it.
Well,
You can
hold
get
on.
banned?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
throw out that Bustos emo.
they've already sent us messages about some of the things you've done.
Who's singing? Ooh, sorry. That was going into another into the
I feel like there was
TFH.
like a time clock
to-
on
There's
I
the
had to-
Bustos emote.
Hold on,
Yeah.
let me play that again.
Who was
Because it
that,
sounded
guys?
like-
Ladies.
I don't know who that was.
That was quite
a good
nice.
voice.
I really enjoyed that, and I was jamming.
Well, officially,
Nope.
when we don't know who
Gateway,
it
that
is, we
was
just say it's
really-
Nikki.
that- zero me.
Was that Nikki?
When we don't know who it is, we just say it's Nikki.
Oh, so dude, Nikki, you got a voice, girl.
Nikki.
Nikki, girl, go, 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 go,
All
go.
right, let's see this one.
I just got this number. Apparently my girl left a message singing on here or something. So yeah, to that guy who hurted her, that was not cool because she's still crushing on you and now she's pretty hurt. So anyways, she just wanted me to leave this message. She wants you to this guy, you know who you are. She wants her karaoke planner back. So meet her in front of Cheesecake Factory at Old Orchard tomorrow at 6 p.m.
That's a very
She wants
exact.
a Karopi planner back.
Karopi planner.
I want my Karopi planner back, but Pachaco though. Let's get real.
Oh,
No, that was Nikki.
that was
Yo,
But
Nikki.
Prior to who Hasino Yon. She said I was looking at the chat. She was saying no. No.
All
So
right.
just agree to yourself, guys. Was it
Next.
Abet, Jeff?
I don't know. She
No,
didn't
I
call.
don't think so because I
We'll
know
figure it
we're
out.
going.
Melissa, was it Miss Melissa? Miss Melissa, was that you?
It was Jay Swank.
Jason.
Or Raph, was that you? Was that you, Sam?
Hey, Raph, I put
No,
the
I
TikTok for you.
have zero voice. I have a Raph voice. Like there's a riff Raph, and then I'm the Raph, which is like after the after.
After the
All right,
Play
next.
the next one.
let's see. I think that's it.
No, there's a furious.
Oh, the Furious one. Here you go. Here.
Yeah, how are you doing? This is Mr. Furious again. That is Furious, calling a reference to my HR complaint for new co-host. So this morning, I didn't have any applicants show up. One of the applicants called in sick. So it's like the whole thing started all over again, like the no co-host thing. So I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know why I even have you guys at the HR. I don't even know. I mean, can you just do your freaking job or something? God, please.
Man, Furious is furious.
Furious.
All right, here's another one. Here's the last one.
An ugly baby.
Actually, he's looking for Raph. He's looking for you. Just to
I'm
let you
in
know.
Montana,
He's asking when you're coming back. He's actually when are you coming back so I can let him know tomorrow.
HR is
You
gonna
can
reach
tell me
out.
later. You can tell me
HR
later.
reach
You can tell me later. I am the HR. Apparently.
Yeah, this is Furious again, Mr. Furious, Furious. Just want to apologize for the earlier phone call. I didn't take my meds. I wake up early just to do the morning show, so I'm a little frustrated that this little co-host or lack of co-host thing. So, yeah. So just want to apologize.
It probably
Please
is why he
don't
lost
hold
his
it
voice.
against me. I appreciate the HR. If you could just have, I don't know, just somebody come check in and, apply to be co-host. That'd be great, man. I appreciate you guys. Okay, thanks. Bye.
He goes on really early every day. It's so early.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have to be on. You don't have to be on the whole time.
Yeah. You don't have to
It
be
would be
Not
like
the whole time.
Friday or Thursday. I shall.
talk.
Yeah. We shall
We'll talk.
transition to that. Yes, Nick. Berries. Maybe you guys.
Yep. Okay. Moments. That was it. That was it for the boxes. So, guys, if you want to drop any lines, go ahead and drop some, and then we'll play them next week. Vince and Vergil, what are your favorite moments on DFH?
Oh,
All
boy.
time or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have to say equal to this day, Artie. It would have to be you. That Freaky Friday, huge Jackman. I could not stop laughing that whole night.
What the debut of Huge Jackman?
Yeah, the debut of Huge Jackman. Yes. Because that night I was God, where was I? I forgot where it was, but I was just like cracking up, literally, and my kids are like, what's so funny? And then they walk in the room and like Calvin's like, why is that guy wearing like a feather thing? I'm like, oh, don't worry about that. Literally, that was awesome. The tie would be probably Jeff Fernandez Freaky Friday with the robe. I those two, and I think those are that's a tie. I have to admit,
I lost it. I lost it there.
Did you lose?
I lost it. No, I mean,
Just
I
a-
lost myself when that happened.
And here's the thing: I was at my in-laws' house. You know, we were having dinner. We were there, and my father-in-law was like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Oh, I could not stop laughing the whole time." And
then you see Vergil and Vince in the chat like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this right now. Like,
and for those of you who watched it, it just, I know if you missed it, it's like the moment where it's just like, you did not
What's
think
going on?
is this going to happen, and all of a sudden, like when he revealed himself, I'm just like, no way.
and it's because before that Freaky Friday set, he wouldn't have done any of those things. Even if we ask, like, hey, do a body roll for us, or hey, do a trick for us, he's not going to do any of that. So none of us, I didn't expect something like that to happen. It just
and the funny
it just happened
when he did that too. And then I forget if I text Jeff or I message him. I'm like, tell me you were so hot in that robe. And he's like, oh my God, I was freaking sweaty, man. But yeah, it was a cool idea. And it just the fact that just made me on the floor. And I could not, I can't get that. Even today, I still can't get that moment out of my mind. Just because of the fact when it happened. Just like,
and just
Bobby, you guys are coming home from dinner and you missed that part, so you got into the stream later. But you and I were like, what just happened?
Oh yeah, we were listening on audio only on the way home, and that's when he was playing. He was playing his 7 repeat, 777. We're like, what's going on? And then we got home and we flipped on the video, and his robe was already off, so we missed all of it. But we watched the replay, and it was just crazy.
So probably 2 more other highlights would be, and this is recently, Jeff Fernandez's nightcap stream last Wednesday. So I don't know if you guys heard about this. So Thursday morning, I woke up and I see this thing like he just got off. Like, oh my God, he did a 7-hour stream. I'm like,
yeah,
unbelievable. And like, I woke up at 5 for some reason, and he just got off. I'm like, and I texted him like, "Are you serious, man? That long?" And then Jeff was up like already at 9 or 10 that morning too. I'm like, dude, did you sleep? And like, I could not believe he went that long. Unbelievable. And then the other one would be his Stashwell and Flip Hop when they did the
DFH
debut,
the double wall twerk.
That was last week.
I actually had to open it up, like, what are they doing? And I'm like, and my kids were with me too. And they're like,
different.
why is he walking on the wall? Like, don't ask. But yeah, so those gotta be the moments.
I think this is Jeff Fernandez's
Is
stream
anyone
where
taking shots right now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ooh.
I got my
We got some Stockney over here.
During that Total Encore 7-hour stream, he was trying to read someone, and then people kept reading him.
Yeah, I heard about it. And the thing was with that, and Jeff, if you're in here, I was like, probably heard like, who was in that stream? And it still was like 19, 20 people still for that long. I thought people. Yeah. I mean, I went to bed like at 1:30, and I was.
He said he would stop when it got to single digits, but it never did.
It never does. It never gets to single digits. I've been in that situation, dude. I was with him when it wouldn't get the single digits.
I think the longest I done was like probably like 3 hours, 3.5. I'm like 7. That's like a marathon. I mean, I remember when probably Jeff first started streaming on Twitch like Thursday nights. I mean.
He used to go for several hours at a time.
Like 3 hours.
This I think was his momentous stream because it was like a marathon. I don't think anything could beat it up to this.
That might be longer than Alvin and Eugene's. I think they had a pretty long stream one time.
Yeah, that one DFH night.
Yeah.
But props to having 7 hours of slow jam library.
That's a long time.
Vergil, how about you?
I think one of the more memorable ones was the Father's Day. Props to Jeff on that.
Oh, that was dope.
Yeah, being able to see everyone's kids and how everyone incorporated their kids in the stream. That was when you had Lucas dancing. That was pretty cool. Wildcat.
Oh yeah. Lucas and Charlie.
Yeah.
I both had them on there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool that all the fathers showed pictures of the kids. So that was a really memorable one for me. Other than the craziness.
Yeah, so that alludes to the, and I won't be on that stream, but Halloween. I'm looking forward to that, man.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
What Jeff Mobby, what you got cooked up for Halloween?
I don't know.
Wait, what are you guys going to dress up for Halloween?
We can't reveal that.
It's too revealed. Okay, I'm sorry.
There's some top secret stuff going on.
Oh
yeah, Virgil's birthday.
That was pretty crazy.
Your birthday was epic.
Oh yeah. You got that clip, or is it in there?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Let's go. Let's check this out. I'm gonna share audio this time because I remember.
Yay.
Let's see.
Yo, shout out to everyone in the room. We've been here for 3 hours.
Yeah,
is it 3 hours?
Oh wow! No, not yet. We got 30 seconds left.
And then this is where Vince. Just watch Vince.
It's worse. Yeah, that's the one. And they're I will never see that. I will never do it again. That was the alcohol. That's why.
This is Nick's 55.
Whoa. Tell us what alcohol you had at the moment.
I think we're all I bet you like, did I just see Vince twerk? Get it?
I enjoy that actually.
Yeah, so actually, originally our plan was that day, kind of like what Rel and Roman Salazar did. They did a tag team, but I'm like, I don't think we could do this. So let's just do this. But it actually worked out fine. So the cool thing about this was like it was just total like on the fly. We'll just play and we'll just go and see where it went.
That was awesome.
That's fun. That looks so fun.
Yeah, that was fun. So that case there, but
sounds like you guys are best friends. Right?
Yeah,
still pushing that, huh? Still trying to sell that. Still pushing that Vergil Vince.
I believe it.
You know what?
The
thing is, there is so many. There's just too many, but those kind of brought out. But it's just like every week, there's always just something. It's just like, how do you top it like from the week before? Like, how do you just make it memorable? In any case, that's a question. So
right, isn't it hard to keep topping?
Yeah.
Top yourself every time.
Yeah.
I don't know what I need to. I have to do backflips, or I can't do backflips.
J-Bray, I mean, again, keeps stepping up the bar. It's crazy.
So like, was it Friday? I saw him. The Disco Donnie.
Disco Donnie.
Can I just play
some replay?
I'd like to just interrupt really quick and let you guys know. I need to make everybody clear. It needs to be clear. Freaky Fridays does not represent the views and opinions of Dance from Home. Okay, I would like everybody to be very clear about that. Freaky Fridays does not represent the views and opinions of Dance from Home.
That's right. We had to make sure legal counsel was present. So
now you can show the clips of Freaky Friday.
Who is your legal counsel?
They asked to be anonymous, so we will mention their names.
Oh, so we'll just look at their faces. Is that what we're saying? Okay, cool.
In-house counsel.
So on Friday, so those of you that actually did anyone watch J-Bray's set? Oh, DJ J-Bray is still here. So J-Bray had a set this earlier today. Disco Donnie made a slight appearance, but it was mainly Dr. Jackman that was in there. So he was actually pretty upset, and he was probably upset because I'm gonna play this video clip from Freaky Friday, and it was a video from Huge Jackman to Dr. Jackman, and let's check this one out.
It's already funny.
Dr. Jackman. Last Saturday, you came, out of nowhere, claiming that you were the true shake weight champion. And then you were claiming that you're a long lost relative of the 4 Jackmen. Little Jackman, Middle Jackman, Huge Jackman, and Old Jackman. Who do you think you are? I'm the real shake weight champion. I'm often imitated, but never duplicated. And if you want to become the shake weight champion, I'll challenge you to a shake-off. Anytime, any place, anywhere. If you want to shake it off with a shake weight freak, holla at your boy.
Shake it off.
You holler. You want to be with Taylor Swift? You want to shake it off with Taylor Swift?
So get this.
You gotta
get this.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Dr. Jackman saw that video, right? And like a newscast broke out. And so
let's see
check
it.
this out. Check this out right here.
Oh, girl. Ashton.
Oh, I remember this one. Yeah.
Can you hear this?
No audio.
No? Okay,
Start
hold
it
on.
over.
Let's see here.
I'm Becky.
No,
coming
no,
to you live.
Yep,
Dr.
yep.
Distant Relative Jackman. Dr. Jackman, what do you say in response to Huge Jackman's outlandish statements?
Becky, give me the mic for 2 seconds. I'm Dr. Jackman. Don't you forget it. Yo, check this out. I'm cruising down the street in my 66 Chevelle, just jamming, listening to my Twitch. All of a sudden, I pull up my boy, DJ Wildcat. Very distant cousin of mine as well. Any time, any place, brother. Guess what? We are distant relatives. We are. Go ask Jeff Fernandez. Duh. Anytime, any place. October 7th. No, Becky. I'm talking October. That's the time and the place. I am the shake weight champion. You think you are bananas? Well, I'm the bananas. Don't know what I'm saying, but I love it. I'm Dr. Jackman.
Thank you.
Apples.
Well, there you have it. Dr. Jackman in response to Hugh Jackman's challenge.
Girl.
So
I agree with this
fucking love
message.
Jay-Bird.
I agree with this message. So what is it? October 7th? What day is that? Wednesday?
So
Wednesday.
the challenge is October 17 is when.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dr. Jackman,
7/17. It's like the same.
October 17 is when Dr. Jackman has issued a shake-off against Huge Jackman. So Huge Jackman will have some type of response. Who knows when? Sometime this week.
Sometime this week. Okay.
We'll just have to tune in and see. Cool. Maybe Wild Wednesday, maybe 50.
Cool.
Montana, the time is crazy. Who
And then
knows what
also
time
just
it
a
is?
reminder that Dr. Jackman is officially recognized by Dance from Home. Huge Jackman is not
follow him.
recognized by Dance from Home. Huge
right
Jackman, we do not recognize him as an official Dance from Home DJ or personality. Dr. Jackman, although has reached out to us, and we do officially recognize him as a Dance from Home affiliate. Thank you. We just have to make that clear, just so everybody knows.
I mean, I'm not related to Huge Jackman. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So
No, I'm just talking about Huge Jackman and Dr. Jackman. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying those individuals. That's
Oh my
making it
God.
clear.
Hey, Dr. Jackman, thanks for the follow. Oh, man.
You will. Oh man. Okay, wait. So can we just transition into body rolls?
No.
Oh.
No.
You want to talk body rolls?
Yeah, can we talk body rolls?
What kind of transition is that?
All right,
Watch. It's a good transition.
I gotta-
Jeff's
Okay,
gonna
is
leave.
everyone going to do a
Redemption
body
point.
roll?
Bye, guys.
Okay,
Play it.
I actually missed the whole Saturday because
Play it.
I was
No,
in transit.
This is not from Saturday.
This was
Okay,
from Friday.
Wednesday?
This is Friday
This was
pop-up.
from Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will take the Friday pop up because I wasn't.
Hey, you're back.
I was also hiking.
Yes.
There it is.
Yes. There it
Okay.
is.
Oh,
So
God.
my gosh. This is
to
the
tee
first
up,
time ever
tee up
seeing
this
this.
video clip. To tee up this video
Tee it
clip.
up.
We were asking Jeff. So this is Friday night. Okay. After DJ Nology, shout out to DJ Nology. He made his Freaky Friday debut. I think during Nology's set, I think it was Jay Bray and Calvin convinced Jeff to do a pop-up set. So Jeff goes on and Nology raids to him. And then I'm like, yo, Jeff, you're doing a Freaky Friday set, but this is not sanctioned by DFH. And he goes, when it's my set, it's sanctioned. We're like, oh, okay. All right, cool. And then because it's Freaky Friday, before this, Jeff was wearing like a track jacket, a black track jacket, and I go, Jeff, what's underneath your jacket? Eventually, he gets it off. He takes off the track jacket, and then this is what he's wearing now. And then we go, yo, Jeff, you're on Freaky Friday. We need to see a body roll. And he's like, hell no, you're not going to see a body roll. And Miss JB, Miss Judy B, she's here right now in the chat. And she goes, I will give you $100 to do a body roll, right? And Jeff was not flinching until he read what Miss JB said. And he paused and he's like, I can't have you pay me $100. So then I go in and I'm like, you know what? I will split that with Miss JB. I'll pay the 50, right? And then Step Up 921's like, I'll throw in another 50. And then somebody else is like, I'll throw in another 50. So it's like $200, right? And then Jeff's like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. And then Jeff is calling Abed to come downstairs. Right? And during this time, we start throwing more things in. I think Elusive's like, I'm gonna throw in a vest from Target. We're also and then also like I think like Calvin started throwing bits. J-Bay threw like 5,000 bits like right then and there. And so then I was like, oh shit, okay. So I threw in, since I said I was gonna put in 50, I threw in 2,500 bits. And then Miss Judy B threw in 1,000, Calvin threw in 1,000. And so Jeff was like freaking out. And I was like, I threw the 2,500. That's my deposit. I'll pay the rest after.
The rest.
So this is what happened.
Please.
You guys forgot it started with my 100,000 channel point redemptions.
Yeah, it was 100,000, but we knew that wasn't going to be attainable. So we were like, let's just do it this way.
Oh, okay, I see.
I've never watched this replay, by the way.
Turn it up.
Because you probably don't want to.
Don't forget the watermelon lube.
So he starts this is like his 5th Truly already. Like literally, like he needed to drink more to be able to do this.
Wait,
we were asking him.
Oh, man.
We were asking him to play Pony too.
Watermelon lube though.
Yeah, we were throwing in watermelon lube. Calvin threw in watermelon flavored lube.
I don't know what that means.
So he starts scratching. And then he goes into this. Right when he got the pony.
Yes.
Oh shit. All right, guys, I gotta go.
Look at Abed.
Abed's dying.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at where she's being, right? She's like, hold on. Let me get to a more open space right there. She wants to be right there.
Go.
Wait,
She's like,
this is the first time I've ever
man.
seen this. This is the first time I've ever seen this. So then what happens after this? Anything?
Yo,
They
Jack
start-
said
they
the sub.
start doing-
Thank you.
These
They
are my
start
best
doing,
friends in real life. And it
They
happens
start here. But they both started doing body rolls together. Oh man, it was awesome.
There's no
That
more.
was probably
There's
one-
no more of the body rolls together or anything.
I didn't have time to clip that.
It's
I wasn't
like a
sure.
little bit of a pose.
If you guys want to watch it, you guys can watch
it's
the
on
whole
his
thing
VOD.
on my VOD.
Save it.
I have
send it,
decided to leave it up.
That was probably one of my
No,
most favorite
oh my
moments.
gosh, I wish I was in the VIP room at this moment.
Oh, that was. You would have had
But,
the body roll with us if you were here.
We're gonna have to
No,
see it.
I feel like I could have planked.
We're gonna have to see Jeff Mobby on an official Freaky Friday set.
Oh yeah, that's
Bro,
that's when Dagger from Home started.
Oh yeah, that night we started
the-
Dagger from Home,
Google
the new
definition.
DFH. It's the third DFH of the series. We had the Dance from Home, and then we have Dating from Home. Now it's going to be a Dagger from Home.
Hey, Mike Hardy, can I just make a shout? I just want to show my kids really quick. I didn't get
Yeah, show them all.
Yeah, do them.
Yeah,
Wait, and their ages.
Actually, let's
and
go
then,
into
like,
that. Let's
your-
go into
like how you wanted to have them.
what? What? How
Sorry.
you wanted to have them?
I'm sorry.
The method
Is
at
that
which
not-
you had your
is that
children?
not like how you think about
Hey,
having
what
your
kind of
children?
sausage do they have in Montana? What's that?
We got some strong sausage from the bison.
You don't even have to pause.
You know.
Like that was
This ain't Abe Froman. So. Yeah, so that's this actually picture was taken in my mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary in the Philippines. So it was really cool. All four of us, all the siblings, the wives, and some of the grandkids were able to go. So this is in Manila. So that's Calvin, the bottom one. You know him. He's 7.5. Kyle is 13. He's in 8th grade, and then Colin is a sophomore in high school. So Colin actually just recently is starting to be scouted by D2 and D3 schools for baseball. So
that's awesome.
Nice. Congrats.
yeah, so he's being recruited, and they found out. I'm not sure how, but I'm getting emails from some.
What's his position?
So he's a lefty. So he's outfielder, first base and pitcher, but he likes to play outfield. You know, he's pitching's okay, and first base there's a lot of first base in there, but
Cool.
he loves it, so he's gonna keep involving with that. Kyle is also travel baseball. These guys. So I baseball. I'm a big baseball guy, and I love baseball.
Cool.
So they're all both of them travel baseball. Calvin's starting to he's gonna try out for his first travel baseball team. This one I just wanted to show because this was actually a photo shoot when Calvin was just born. He did a newborn.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
my brother. I think my brother was busy, so I actually asked Andy.
How old are you here?
So Calvin was actually like 2 days old. So I was
wait.
there.
You.
So she, you could bring your own props for a newborn shoot. So I was thinking like, what
DJ
can I
stuff.
bring? So I'm like, I just brought this record. So and then they brought the headphones. So
Nice.
it turned out pretty cool.
Control vinyl.
Yeah, control vinyl. Yeah, there's a case there. So these guys are So I have 3 boys. Vergil has a boy and 2 girls. So I think I'd rather be blessed with 3 boys than 3 girls because my brother.
So you guys are done. You're done
Yeah,
having kids.
we
Both
tried.
of you.
We tried for a girl, didn't happen. But obviously the Magsino gene, we're 4 boys, so it's an evident that a girl is very rare. In that case there. So my brother got 2 girls, and Vic has a girl and a boy. Me, I struck out, so I had 3 boys, but my brother-in-law has 3 girls. But
You don't strike out until you got the 4.
so, my wife's like, no way. We tried. It's gonna be a boy anyways. Yeah, it's expensive. So in case
No, they're beautiful.
Mike,
Totally try.
don't have kids, man. I swear. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I agree then. I'm with you. So don't have kids. I will carry that to my grave. That makes you
no, these guys are awesome. In case they're
these guys are awesome.
I think the coolest thing is just basically it kind of like what Vergil said. It's like we learn things from our dad, and then these guys are learning stuff from us. So I just hope
dope.
that what we do, they carry on. So like when we were kids, our parents always take us on road trips all the time. So now I'm able to do that with my kids to do road trips. So we always do a road trip every year. I don't care what's going on.
Yeah.
We always
Oh, that's
do a
awesome.
road trip. So that we're going to keep continuing until they get older. So they recognize, and these kids have been in more states at their age than I did when I was a kid. I think they
Seriously,
counted.
that's amazing.
They
I
counted. I think they counted
applaud
almost
you.
more than half. I think almost 30, 35 states out of the 50 they've been to already. I think I have to count again.
Oh
But
wow.
I
That's
mean, like
amazing.
they went to Alaska. I mean, we went on a family cruise in 2015. How many kids can go to Alaska? You know, in case there. I mean, they've been to California, they've been to Florida. I mean, you know, these kids are lucky. So that's probably the best thing I can give back to my kids is just experiences, what I learned when I was a kid. And I think when I told that to my mom, she was actually crying when I told her that.
That's 100%.
Yeah, hey mom,
You're
I love the road trips; they're cool, and she was very sentimental about it. So I thought that was pretty cool, the case there. So, yep, these guys are it keeps me going, and you know, it's just
yeah.
it's a crazy circus, but I like how it is. You know, shouts out. I think Kid Chris has the dad gang emote, so that's me and Virgil every weekend. You know, in between, you know, we find time to do this, but you know, we time to do that. So that was the one thing, and I think that's what I kept on DJing is because you know this was like my supplemental income. I mean, this is how I was able to. People ask like, you know, like how do you get them all to go to the Bears games? Like, well, that's what pays for my season tickets. It came from DJing.
Yeah.
You know, and there's all these other things. So like, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? Like, you know, it's
All the extracurricular stuff.
Extracurricular stuff. I mean, when I was DJ, I'm like, I would book and book and book. I mean, I can't do like you do before the trifecta, like holiday weekend. We used to do like Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. I can't even do that anymore. There's like no way I can do it. Even like doubles, I can't do it as
Right.
and I get older. As I can't even do doubles anymore in that case. There, so
I would never do a double anymore.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
period.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean,
worth
I
it.
mean, there's some times I did like an afternoon wedding, and if there was a gap was perfect, I could actually do it and do a night wedding too. I've actually done that.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I still wouldn't want to do it.
I can't mentally handle that.
I can't do it anymore, but I used to do it. I mean, just stuff now I can't do anymore. But you know, the case with it. But I mean, I've been doing this, you know, the mobile thing for like what is it now? For like 30 years, and you know, DJing for like 32. So it's just fun, and this is something that I can show my kids, and they're living through it. That you know, this is what that hobby was. You know, kind of like when I was growing up, my parents they like to go play tennis and bowling. You know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my kids would be like, "Oh, Dad used to do this," and my wife, she's a Zumba instructor, so she does that
Nice.
Lifetime in Vernon Hills. So, and then she's doing a new thing with called MixFit. So, you know, everyone has their own thing, and you want to leave a legacy for your kids. So, you know, I think this is kind of my thing is the DJing thing, and that's kind of my legacy. My kids grow up and they're gonna say, "Hey, my dad did this." So, do my kids want to do this? I I don't know. I mean, the thing is, and Artie, you'll probably test because Lucas and Colin are the same age. They're both 15. So, Colin would help me out. With, like I think he helped me one time, and I gave him money. He's like, "Dad, this is really how much I can get." I was like, "Yeah."
Right.
I guess I'm like, wow. And then my nephew helped me one time, and I gave it to Vic, my nephew. He's like, "Oh, give us to Dylan." And Dylan was like, he's like, "Really? Can I go again? I'll help you anytime." I was like, "Yeah, no problem at all." So okay, so yeah, that's I don't know if I'll leave a legacy. I'm not really interested in it, but we'll see.
Well, in regards to that, like running off of the business, what are your plugs? We need to do some last plugs here. So Virgil, give us your plugs for everything you're doing, your business, whatever. Let's get some plugs in. Tell everybody what's going on for you today.
So streaming wise, Friday I have Flashback Friday, so I'll be back on this weekend. Sunday, Soulful Sunday, I'll be back. I had to take this weekend off because I was in Detroit. I'll be gone this weekend, but I'm going to be in South Bend. Actually, I'll be traveling the next couple of weekends, so I probably will. This will be my last weekend for a couple of weeks. Other than that, sports with my daughter because she's dragging me all over the place.
That's awesome.
Dope. Vince, what do you got going on?
This week, so Tuesday nights at New Wave Club, 9 p.m. Central. Tune in. The case there, and then I usually do that for about 2 hours. At 11 p.m., I flip the switch and I do OPM, NPM. So for about half hour, 45 minutes. So that's why I kind of play stuff like Hide, Fun Boys. They open up that stuff. Wednesday, I'm gonna do Nightcap. Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Soul Jam set.
Dope.
I haven't done that in a while. So that Thursday, I actually might do a pop up stream. I thought about today, Chicago Bears pregame. So if it's nice outside, I actually might do outside in the patio. So I'm thinking of doing that.
Sweet.
And then Saturday, I'll be on Saturday for Dance for Home nightcap again, or after hours, Saturday night. So
Sweet.
But
Yeah.
that's pretty much. Outside of that, I got a wedding in a couple weeks. In the case, and I don't know if the wedding I have in November is still going to happen. They're still kind of iffy in the case there, and then pretty much all the events get pushed next week. But beside that, I'll try to stream as much as I can. I think it's just, it's turned into an art. This, like, hey, you can kind of make some money and have some fun at the same time.
Of course, no doubt.
I think if you keep a regular schedule, that will just increase your followers, and then just your supporters and your regulars will come back. Kind of like what Jeff Fernandez says, the front row. I have my front row, and I can there.
For sure.
Everyone has a front row, so that's pretty much. So that keeps it busy, and these guys are still going to have basketball, probably travel baseball practice during the weekend. So keep on busy, but I try to make time for this as well. And
we'll get out and play golf soon for sure.
Yeah,
you and I again. We're going out again.
Still got some time to go golfing. In the case there's cool hooking up with Mike. We both had a crappy day yesterday, but hopefully next round.
We played some bad golf yesterday, but it's all good. Yesterday.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so you guys are going to announce the next guest for next week, right? You ready to go?
What?
What? Next week's guest. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll show
the Mod Squad.
All right, so for next episode, next Wednesday, we are actually at Boss Mods Part 2.
Yep, we got Step Up 921, Pi Pi, and It's Matsurup.
Let's go.
Dope mods here. Can't wait to hear their story.
Yeah. Shouts out to Step Up. Thanks for being Boss Mod. So I'll take care of you when I see you in real life.
Yeah, Step Up. We're excited to have you on the show. I know you're still here.
Speaking of boss mods, so like Yoshi, DJ Yoshi is he did his mod appreciation week last week. So like all of his tips, he was giving them to his mods. 360 started doing that on hers, but on top of that, doubling whatever the tips came in. And so huge shout out to them. I'm probably going to do something similar too within the next couple of weeks for my mods. So my mods, be on the lookout for that.
Shout out to all the mods. They do so much work, and like just being a mod for a couple of our key folks is just like you have to be so attentive to everything. And so just everyone, Nix, Step Up, 91, everyone, Abed, everyone we're showcasing next week. It's real.
The cool thing with mods, anybody can do it. I mean, I learned to do it in the case there. I try to put some funny, crafty questions in there. So in that case, just mods are there to kind of help you move the stream along and to keep engaged. So always a big thing about when I get a chance to put some good questions in the poll. It's always fun.
No doubt.
Agree.
Right. So next week is Mod Week. We are going to interview some dope mods and hang out with them, ask them some questions, get away from a little bit of the DJ stuff that you see normally on Mondays and talk more about what they do on the other side of the field, and we'll go from there. So we're going to stay for the raid because we're raiding, right?
Yep.
We are raiding. Yeah. Stay for the raid. We're out. So thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, Dance from Home fam. Love you guys. Same bat time, same bat channel next week.
Just
Monday,
really quick though,
7:30.
Jeff, one for the road. One for the road.
Body roll.
I can't body roll on my seat. I can't do it.
One for the road. One for the road. One for the road. One for the road.
All right, stay for the raid. We're gonna raid over to Furious's podcast. It's actually fired up and 360.
Jeff just left.
It's gonna be fired up at 360. 360 is actually the host for this episode with Von Kiss and Chris Cut. They are interviewing.
Hey, drop Dance from Home emotes when you get in there.
Yeah, raid emotes and then DFH emotes. Let's go. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see y'all
Thank you
later.
guys.
everybody.
Love you guys. Be
Peace.
safe. Have a good night. Peace.
Stay for the
Stay
raid.
for the
Stay for the
raid.
raid.
Stay for the
raid.
raid. Raid. Stay for the raid.
We're rated.
We are rated.